Welcome to the highlights. This is morning discipline, money fear, and robot chaos. Tommy is here to judge your excuses.
Yeah, 3:40, my alarm goes off.
3:40 is not a wake-up call. That is a hostage situation with your dreams.
And while you are lamenting whether to get into the cold tub there, Frank, I am up there getting after it.
Keith woke up like a raid boss. Tommy woke up like a victim.
I'm not here really to worry about how much time you are putting in, but guys, if you are snoozing as much as I think you're snoozing, well, you know what? Right now, you are 8 hours and 15 minutes behind the guy.
8 hours 15 behind is not lateness. That is you getting lapped by a ghost.
You guys, you motherfuckers beat me this morning, and I'm working it into my morning. Jimmy beat me today.
Losing to Jimmy is the universe saying, get your shit together politely.
What's the real reason you haven't trained consistently?
Uh-oh, this is where excuses put on mascara and call it discipline.
Humanoid robots doing some crazy stuff in China.
Robots are doing kung fu on TV, and you cannot do 10 push-ups without a committee meeting.
Well, it's time to go and raise some capital. So yes, I'm doing something I have never done before. I've never raised money.
New level, new devil, same Keith. That is the part nobody posts about.
I've never went and found money, so I'm fucking scared.
Say it out loud, then do it anyway. Fear hates witnesses.
I'm nervous. I have no idea what I'm doing, but I'm gonna figure it out. And we're going to go raise some cash and take this thing to the next level. I'm happy today. I'm feeling mighty gay today.
Keith said happy. Comment section heard civil war. Everybody relax and drink water.
Yeah. Listen, y'all just be offended by words. Listen, I grew up with gay being happy. I'm feeling very happy today. Cheryl Whitaker's own. Who's Cheryl Whitaker? Well, she's got a big show here on the network. Yep, tomorrow, Wednesday, 8:30 Eastern time. It's called Starts with Joy with Cheryl Whitaker.
Cheryl brings joy. Frankie brings chaos. Tommy brings the mug and the verdict.
Yes, I'm going to raise some money for the lab. And I'm telling you, I'm nervous about it. I got a big meeting this afternoon.
Big meeting afternoons are where your confidence gets audited and your soul gets built.
And we're going to see how it goes. Let's just put this on the table. If y'all want to contribute to the growth of the lab, yeah, we're raising. We're officially raising.
When John says officially, that means the panic is now laminated.
So what the hell does that mean? Well, come join me for coffee and we'll figure it out.
This is John's plan. Caffeine, vibes, and reckless optimism. Honestly, it works.
We will absolutely figure it out.
But you look at that with the fucking big motor sticking out.
Yes.
Let's compare that to a boat.
Yeah.
That's like a fucking jet boat.
John hears horsepower and turns into a preacher. He is about to baptize that engine in pure ego.
Yes.
It's like, Jesus Christ, dude. Come on.
What?
You know? We can do the same thing with boats. Jet boat is the fucking one, you know?
It's like, bring me the ladder, bring me the fucking stack of telephone books to sit on the seat.
Telephone books is crazy. Keith is trying to drive from a booster seat made of pride.
Like that motor in the front of that car, Johnny, like it's probably bigger than me as a human being. So it just doesn't work for me. So
most people will put that on there because it fucking looks cool.
Cool as a drug. Side effects include debt, back pain, and telling your wife it is an investment.
there's one thing I really appreciate about those men is their commitment to their habits.
Some men polish chrome for 4 hours. Some men cannot stretch for 4 minutes. Priorities are hilarious.
Like, and what I mean by that is, shining the chrome and it's this relentless commitment to their habit, which is their car, right? And that's actually pretty cool.
They're not the ones who fucking spent 10 years in the garage fucking doing it.
So I think
once the need comes in, that's where you start to see the difference in the athlete. Listen, it's from a financial standpoint, that's fucking brilliant for both of them.
John sees ROI in his sleep. That is either genius or a cry for help.
Sure, it's going to be different views of the fight. Like everywhere you look, you can't help but to see a different angle of what's going on.
Like they are just all in on live events.
Live makes your heart show up. Scrolling is just you watching life through glass like a damn aquarium.
And it's easy to see why. There's so much money behind it. Yeah, so I'm glad you asked that. So as you know, we're building a business here. I have not been focusing too much on let me rephrase this. I've been focusing on the infrastructure to deliver what we are delivering. We've created a new category with this product. And as I'll say to somebody, I was talking to someone on the weekend, like we have not been spending money on promoting the show.
They built the engine in silence. Now they're about to slap the turbo on and wake the whole block.
Now, I'm openly admitting that I've never done this before. So I'm actually walking towards something that I'm very uncomfortable about.
If you are comfortable, you are lying to yourself. Growth feels like an awkward first date.
So I'm excited to share it, and I'm excited to learn about it, and I'm excited to fail nonstop while we succeed along the way.
Failing nonstop is a flex when you keep swinging. Most people quit after one bruise.
Like, I'm sorry, all the like humans in the audience watching the robots on stage entertain them. Like, it's just, we're moving into a bizarre world, my friend.
Bizarre world checklist. Robots on stage, humans cheering, and your phone knows you better than you do.
Like, we are moving into a bizarre world while they were building this robotics company under the disguise of a car company, when you think about it. Characters are the future, guys.
Characters are the future, and you are still afraid to post a video. Get in the game.
Characters are absolutely the future. And, all you have to do is look at the content and media being created around us to see what the future looks like.
So when they think about death, that becomes their pull. Oh, fuck, what am I going to miss? The FOMO hits them like a fucking freight train.
FOMO is your future self screaming, stop wasting days like they are unlimited.
Oh, dude, I'm going through it right now. Yesterday, Keith, why are you working so hard? I'm like, I'm not working so hard, actually. I'm living my, I'm
creating.
I'm creating. Like, this is not working so hard. Like, when are you going to retire? Never. I got no interest in actually retiring, because the moment I retire, the next day I'm dying. Like, I get no interest in retiring. I get zero interest in retiring.
Retire? Keith hears that word and starts doing push-ups out of spite.
Zero.
He needs to get that thing that made that loud fucking sound out of the hands of the fucking guy that did that to him. I mean, he learned. I mean, he's not fucking dumb. And it's like, what's he going to do? He's not running for fucking cover. Look at that place. It's like, look, Alaskans understand. Moose are fucking mean.
Mooses are built like trucks and act like unpaid security. I respect it from far away.
They will whoop your ass.
We got a legend. We got a guy who played only 7 games of high school football.
7 games and still made it. Some of you have 7 alarms and still miss life.
He waited 5 years for his college career to start, and then he became a 1,000-yard rusher in the NFL.
People they say, hey, dickhead. And I say, no, it's dickhead. Not dickhead.
John is doing spelling lessons while the world burns. That is commitment.
And I'm just weird. I live in Canada 12 months of the year in minus 40-degree weather in Vermont, and it's cold up here.
It was tricky, man. In 1970, unfortunately, like, my mom died giving birth to me.
That is brutal. No jokes. That kind of start changes every mile you run after.
Oh, I'm sorry.
Yeah, man. It really set my family up for like a really challenging life. Like, we had a real tricky hand that we were dealt. But you know what, man? As I look back in my life, I am so thankful for how I was raised.
That is rare strength. Turning pain into gratitude is like alchemy for grown men.
So thankful for my father, and so thankful for all the things I had to go through, because ultimately it helped me become like the man that I am today.
It's every time we have to go through something difficult, we become a better person, more durable. I tell my kids, look, when you ask for more, what you're asking for is the universe to put some heavy shit in front of you. Because if you want more, you got to get better.
Once you get to that point in your life where you can kind of flip it and understand that, like, the more challenging route is actually what makes you like the person that you need to be able to take care of any and everything that you need for the rest of your life, and be able to impart that same wisdom on the other people around you. That's when you realize it's a game changer. Growing up like that, I mean, it was stressful and it was tough, but like, in retrospect, man, it helped me like figure out, like, if I need or want anything in this world to happen, I'm going to have to do it. And not only will I have to find 1 or 2 different ways to do it, I got to find multiple ways to do it. And and if it's ever going to happen, it's going to have to come from me.
There's a 33-year-old man in a room celebrating the happiest moment in his life.
That is life punching and hugging you in the same second. If you survive that, you are unbreakable.
A little boy being born. Well, at the same time, he's losing the love of his life. I cannot imagine what your father went through in that second, that minute, those months.
Like, inequities in life.
It's hard for us to comprehend that time.
And just think about it, like, as a little person growing up with that and seeing that all around you, and then getting to a point where you get, like, to your own place and you find the love of your life, and then and you have these beautiful kids. They had, from what I understand, it's just a wonderful, like, little family, like my dad, my mom, and my brother and sister, and then it all blows up.
taken
And
away.
like we're talking like the 1970s, fellas.
So in essence, you played 2 seasons of football and made it to NFL. Very uncommon.
But at that moment, I realized that, staying at Ohio State, I learned so much about myself and what it took for me to get better, that me grinding and being resilient and adaptable allowed me to like open up and uncover something like even like more special in me.
It's like you see people say, oh yeah, he was an overnight success.
Yeah.
And then the person goes, yeah, it was an overnight success after 20 years of hard work.
Overnight success is a lie. It is 20 years of nobody clapping.
You know, if somebody was hitting the snooze button since January 1st of this year, they're actually 9 hours behind you right now.
9 hours behind is insane. That is you donating a whole workday to the snooze button.
Think about that. 9 hours. You have 9 hours ahead, a full marathon and a half over somebody who has that snooze button.
Take that hour that you fuck off, that nothing good happens, that you're doing the shit you should be doing when you're fucking eating the fucking cookies you shouldn't be eating. Go to bed, get up that hour early.
That hour is not cute. That hour is where your excuses go to die.
You don't get up early and fucking eat cookies. You get up early to do shit.
So it's one thing to have your dreams dashed, but then also I have to learn this new position at the top level against the best players in the world. I was one of the only backs on the team that never left the field. So like I went, and at that moment, man, I realized it's crazy. Like the Chicago media, they nicknamed me the ultra back.
Well, you got to remember these football, these pro scouts, these pro coaches, they saw that they could basically draft this really good athlete, this football player that was big. They had a bigger vision for you than what you could see. Like he doesn't really know. Yeah. He doesn't really know this position with the little time he's had. We can make him this. And he can always go back to carry. We know he can carry the ball. Look what he did. But if we can get him doing this, and he can do this well too, they drafted a football player, not a halfback. Yeah. Thank God your ego wasn't so big, because it happens to a lot of guys. Their ego's so big, they never really fucking take to what their new job is, because they're so reluctant that they're not doing what they think they should be doing.
And I think that's another lever that was flipped for me that allowed me to access so much success in the rest of my career.
Life is not about sitting on the sidelines of your own life. Get in the game. No, that was 20 years of hard work to create what you perceived as an overnight success. But just remember this. There are going to be so many days when you don't want to do it for every reason known to man. It's cold. You're tired. Do the work. If you do the work when no one's looking and you are consistent, you will ultimately achieve what you want. It's not a question of if, it's a question of when. Rock and roll.
You don't lose the morning at noon. You lose it in the first 5 minutes.
That line is a throat punch. Win 5 minutes and the day stops bullying you.
It's amazing how when you think about the things that you are thankful for and grateful for and you're positive, it's amazing like what it does for you and starting out your day to be like positive. I tell people all the time, man, when the quickest and easiest way to get out of a bad mood is to say something positive to yourself. And the quickest, most effective way to change like the temperature of an environment is to say something like nice and kind to the people around you.
And our cells, every human is basically a drug addict, so to speak. That cell is addicted to whatever drug it gets the most from the brain. And so many people are addicted to stress hormones. You know, the one cool thing about the brain that I always remind myself is that it only has the capability to create a stress hormone or a gratitude hormone.
Pick one. Feed gratitude and stress gets evicted. No lease renewal.
It can't do both. It's one or the other. So don't think about turning off the bad. All you got to do is think about turning on the good, and the bad turns off automatically. So when we do our gratitude, it's turning off any anxiety shit that might have been starting to build. And now we create this daily habit, and where basically our cells are addicted to the right chemistry.
I have a friend with Tourette's.
That is real empathy. Most people only notice problems when it costs them something.
And I've always, I'd go out with him and you're hoping he's not going to say something that's just going to, because they can't control it. So when I saw the scene, I immediately thought of my friend and I thought to myself, oh my God, like that fellow, voluntarily, involuntarily, that word comes out and you know that he's, so you can only imagine how that fellow's feeling too.
This now changes from being a book into like a survival manual. It's scary, and no one in this world understands how important sleep is more than me, because I am someone who never gets a good night of sleep.
I realized, like last night, I wrote in my book.
Oh, good for you.
Train.
Yeah.
No, I woke up this morning, dude, come on, you've been here before. You're going to waste that training day? How about get the rest you need and train tomorrow?
You can join the show, mitl.live. Just want to say thank you for being consistent. I can always rely on having you in my background when I start my weekdays. It's positivity for my ears while I'm getting my day going. We're trying to put the work in to give you guys a place to call home, safe space to get up and wake up with us and get your day started with some positive fun. We try to keep the negative bullshit out of here. I wake up every single day trying to beat Holroyd or trying to beat Sullivan. And if you hit the snooze button and Sullivan doesn't, well, Sullivan's ahead of you. So get into the lab, mitl.live, mitl.live. Check in, show your proof, and start building your streak. And then John showed up. And it ended up going mornings live to keep John and friends, and the guy won't fucking leave. Today is the first meeting I'm going to be having raising money for the lab. And I'm saying it out loud for the same reason that I did when I started this show a couple years back. It changes it. True story. It forces you to stop hiding behind what you're not ready to say out loud. Or to some of us, it forces us to stop hiding from the work. And here's what people don't tell you fully about fundraising. It's not business. It's not finance. It's not capital markets. It's actually emotional.
Fundraising is not numbers. It is asking humans to believe before you can prove it. That is scary as hell.
But I've told you what scares me more. What scares me more is me coming on the show in months or years from now saying, man, I wish I would have went and raised some money. And I'm not building the lab for comfort. No, I'm building it because I think the world right now is starving. And I can see us starving. Starving for live conversation, not more information, not infinite information. We're starving for real live conversation because I'm chasing something harder. I'm chasing believability, not attention. Doing it alone isn't noble. It's limiting. And I didn't build my life by playing small. Not at all, actually. Nope. I built it by taking swings that make people feel uncomfortable, even if it's in the dark, behind the scenes. Trying.
That is courage. Now watch the full show next. No excuses.
Men, some of you look successful, but you still feel like a fraud. That's usually shame wearing a suit. You're judging 5 years ago you like he had today's tools. He didn't. So stop acting like you should have known. Today we redefine toughness. Tough isn't self-hate. Tough is forgiveness plus action. Pick one mistake you're still holding. We'll give you a clean slate protocol tomorrow. Let's go, nation!
Good morning and welcome back to Mornings in the Lab with Keith, John, and friends. Accountability partner here to help you start your day with real talk, motivating content, and entertaining conversation. We are live and we are an R-rated experience.
Prick. Was that?
The interface is dying. Live beats perfect every time.
It gave me goose pimples to hear it.
Do not waste any single day. The trapdoor. Hey, good morning, everybody. According to TikTok, swallowing certain bodily fluids is now a medical emergency. Yeah, we're talking about it this morning. Finally, a health trend that I really can't get behind. We're talking about it, but you know what else is hard to swallow? Well, speaking of swallowing this morning, the fact that you wasted the last 5 years of your life and you got to find some way to forgive yourself. But first, you know how it goes. Good morning and welcome back to Mornings in the Lab with Keith, John, and friends, your live morning show for real talk, motivating content, and entertaining conversation to help you start the day right with momentum and positive energy. I got Holroyd out there. Holroyd beat me on the check-in this morning. Oh, yeah, we're keeping the streak alive. Good job, Adam. I saw you out there this morning. I went and got my coffee, checked in. I was like, oh, Holroyd is up there already. I'm thinking that Holroyd might have got some life expectancy work in this morning. I'm just thinking because I saw the note there. Hey guys, if you don't know what I'm talking about, stick around a couple minutes. And I saw Sullivan up there too. Sullivan's checking in as well. He's got that streak going. Hey guys, this is an R-rated experience. Yes, if you tuned in during the pre-show, you saw the RRR top left corner. Let's see, LRL. That's right. Yeah, top left corner was the R-rated experience. We dropped those F-bombs, B-bombs, S-bombs. Listen, we got people like Frankie and Tommy and Sophia and Maya on the show. They are just dropping bombs left and right. So just heads up, guys. If you're someone who easily gets offended, turn the volume up to offend more of them, especially if you want to kick into my monologue later on in the show. We are not here to like everyone. No, we're here just to find the people that like us. And hey, to all the lurkers out there and to all the new listeners out there, hit the like button, subscribe, and hit the channel and come drop a comment and come say hello. And hey, come check in with us, like I said, to kick everything off, mitl.live. Yes, mornings.live. There you go, Jimmy. There's a new one. Mornings.live. Yeah, simple as that. Mornings.live. Boom. Mornings.live will get you to the big show, and you can go and check in. Yeah, what do I mean by check in? Well, if you check into the show, you can tell us you are awake. You can build your streak. You can just show the fact that you're up and at 'em and you're part of this big mornings community that we call Mornings in the Lab with Keith, John, and friends. And hey, we got the poll. Yeah, we got the poll up there as well. We got the poll, and it is a poll that has a question on it today. And the poll's question today is, where do your good habits usually fall apart? Mornings before work? Yeah. Or midday when things get busy? Yeah. Or evenings when I'm drained? I got a new habit in. I'm going to the gym in the afternoons and evenings now. So I'm adding a new habit to my day. Sullivan says, some days can be difficult as long as you show up. Doesn't have to be perfect. Like Jerry Seinfeld said, he prepared one joke every day. Yes. That's the way to look at it, Sully. If you get up and you solve a problem every single day, that's 365 problems you're solving every single year. Even if it's a little problem of, not hitting the snooze button or eating better, every single day, if we're getting up trying that, we're always moving forward. Hey guys, the daily question today, when you mess up your eating, what do you do next? You know what I do? Don't tell Johnny. I eat more. I do. I'm like, okay, well, fuck it. I've already ate one chocolate bar. I might as well eat 10 more. That's generally what happens to me. I'm like, oh, okay, well, I've already had 3 scoops of ice cream. I'm going to go and have 4 more. But it's just how I roll. I do things to the extreme. Hey guys, and to all of you snoozers out there, we were talking about it yesterday. Yeah, with Raymond Harris. 8 hours, 24 hours. 8 hours, 24 minutes behind Jimmy. Jimmy, 504 minutes that somebody's behind just by hitting that snooze button. Yeah, so guys, stop hitting the snooze. And or you're just going to keep staying mediocre. True story. Yes, absolutely. Hey, packed show today. Packed show today. Jimmy, is every show just not packed? Oh, hey, are you sticking around here? Or are you going to Whitaker show later today? Who? Yeah. Hey, Cheryl Whitaker dropping her show in 24 minutes this morning on the Mornings in the Live Network. And it starts with joy. If you're looking for a little bit of female conversation, I invite you to head on over to Cheryl's channel. It starts with joy. Yes. Over on YouTube, and you can find her streaming in about 25 minutes. And I think Jimmy might be leaving us. And if he's leaving us, I think that maybe, yeah, Jimmy's leaving. Yeah, it looks like Kai's here. So we can tease Kai for an hour until Jimmy comes back. Yeah, true story. Hey, you know what we should do, Jimmy? We should send Kai over there to let her fuck up Cheryl's show. Yeah. Hey, Kai, go fuck up Cheryl's show. Yeah, just go try it out. Go see what happens. Kai's like, what? Yeah, oh yeah. Cheryl's like, what? Oh yeah, you got a new one. Kai, she's gonna come fuck your show up. True story. Yeah, that's what she does. Actually, all kidding aside, Kai's been with us now for a month, 6 weeks. Just setting the bar. Yeah, she's getting after it, man. I'm really enjoying working with producer Kai, myself, Jimmy, Melissa. Melissa's away today. So hey guys, we got some trending topics today. Boo, boo, boo. Why? Oh yes. Hey, to all my friends who grew up with Home Alone, Zachary Ty Bryan, going to jail. Holy smokes. So this is actually, I think it's, hey Kai, I think, was the new 6th arrest in 7 years or something like that? Man, Apple's got some products coming out. We're going to talk about that. I found the straightest highway in the world. Yeah, the straightest highway. 240 kilometers straight line. And no, that's not outside my house going to Western Canada. Yeah. And if we have time, and I suspect we will, 13 of the most, oh man, do I got to say this word? 13 of the most liberal states around here. Liberal, conservative, whatever. 13 of the most even states. Liberal states list. Speaking of liberal states, I woke up this morning and I saw that President Trump still had his State of Union address going on. Yeah, I went to bed last night. I was like, okay. I was like, got up this morning. Holy smokes, the guy's still talking. The guy just was talking forever. Speaking of talking, Nicki Minaj busted for all the fakery on X. So maybe she is not as conservative as we think she is. And then, I kicked it off. I got a video that explains something that I know all of us men wonder. I know we wonder. Jimmy, before you go, I know you wonder it too, Jim. What happens when she swallows your load? Sorry, Kai, that's not the words that were there. I know. What happens when she swallows your load? Yeah, just what happens? Jimmy, what happens? Well, we're breaking it down. What happens? I guess we're he. I guess if Sterling and Preston are talking about it, it might be he. So what happens when semen is swallowed? Yeah, we're having that conversation this morning. So pull your coffee out, put the morning wood away. We're talking semen swallowing this morning on the show. And hey, Kevin McCulloch, he almost died with a BlackBerry in his hand. Now he's bringing it back. I'm looking forward to this conversation. Kevin's a Winnipeg guy. I've been following his story, so I'm eager to have that chat with Kevin coming up at the bottom of the first hour here with Sophia Grant, myself, and John Anderson. And then I think we're going to have some time to break down a few other things. How to forgive yourself. We got a bunch of fun stuff to get after here today. I think Cheryl Whitaker is going to join us as well, and we're going to break it down. And that breaking down starts, hey, Sterling, Preston, Kai, before Jimmy goes. Oh, I just want to say this one more time. The Morning Loop starts right now.
Morning Nation, yesterday's Handsome Chief convo was fun, but true story, we can't say the Chief's real name right now.
It's like a glitch. Maya started it and the whole team caught it. Producer says Keith. Everybody hears Handsome Chief.
Raymond's handsome, sure, that's facts. But there's only one Handsome Chief.
Nation, be honest. Good time Holroyd, weigh in. Is the title earned or self-appointed bullshit?
And Keith, don't act surprised. You let it happen. And Nation, keep that energy. Morning Loop starts now.
Oh man, yeah, we got some momentum going with the Handsome Chief nickname. So let me just break it down here. When I sat down on day one, I'm admittedly I'm self-obsessed with just ridiculous behavior. You know, just listen, Holroyd, Sullivan, you know, good time. The comedians we grew up with, the Will Ferrells of the world, the bad dad jokes. So when I sat down to set this thing up on StreamYard on day one, I was like, yeah, well, I guess I'll just write down the Handsome Chief, because I think the word handsome is a ridiculous word. I think it's a fucking ridiculous word. Like who calls people handsome? Kai, who calls people handsome? And Kai, I don't want to see a GIF. Who calls people handsome? No, Kai, show me the GIF. Like who? Like what is handsome? Honest to God. And then Chief. So my brain was like, yeah, just Handsome Chief. It was funny. And so no, it wasn't fully a self-appointed nickname. It was a ridiculous moniker that I was. Oh man, here he comes. I just gotta have to listen to him, I guess. Kai, how's this guy? How's the handsome John getting into the lab this morning? That is a fucking set of wheels, Anderson. You got a few bucks if you're driving that one to the lab.
I love it. That's good shit. Although I want to start paying attention if they're learning how to match my hat with my wardrobe. Very important.
Yes,
very important.
It is.
You can't just put this fucking hat on and expect it's going to go with everything. It doesn't work that way.
This is true. I'll tell you. Jimmy, that suit was looking svelte on Anderson, man. Getting out of that.
I want to see what the whole thing looks like when I walk out.
Yeah. Jimmy, if you can pull it up for us, we'd like to see that clip, man. That was so Anderson was looking just svelte and sharp.
Okay, the shoes will work, but I don't know that I would wear black shoes with that color. What do you think? What do you think, brother?
I would agree with you. Yeah, I would agree. Yeah, I think
a brown. That'd be a brown. So what I would have done there.
Oh yeah, look at that. Look at that. Oh yeah. Oh, and the short. Oh, you got like the knickers on too, dude.
He got knickers. He didn't have knickers on me when I got out of the car.
Fuck, I'm liking that. Oh my goodness. Yeah. So I think
now that there's more black sticking out, so the hat would work.
Yes.
But I would, generally speaking, I would have to go tie to hat. What do you think?
I would agree with you.
Or if it was because those are the accent colors.
Yes. Yeah. It's funny you think
kind of like a little bit, just a tad of red right over here.
Yes. Dude, I love you, man. It's funny when I was when I was traveling and traveling all over the planet with business, I enjoyed getting dressed and dressing for it, right? So probably like yourself, I get my clothes ready and then I was like, okay, so what hat am I going to wear with the accent, whether it was the puff, whether it was the tie, whether it was the glasses? I always had something matchy. That's just how I was. I think you were the same.
Everything sounds perfect. It's just I never use the word matchy.
Oh, you don't want me to matchy, Mike? You want me to matchy? No. Hey, dude, great fucking meeting yesterday. Great meeting. I got to tell you that great meeting. And it's funny because it kind of leads into what we just been laughing about. And I want to just chew with you for a couple seconds. There's things that you do in your life that are so easy for you that you do them with your eyes closed. You just take the skill for granted.
That's called a habit. Literally, it's when the body does it without the mind.
That's good because it's true. So I'm talking to these dudes yesterday, and they're asking us questions about our show and asking us questions about the IP and everything. And just
what's the IP?
Like the intellectual property, like what we're building.
Oh, okay.
Here, right? So
gotcha.
The fascination around how we can make you and I and these characters come to life. So just back to dressing you up with your hat and your shirt and your shorts and there's this amazing fascination with how that happens. And I'm like, we just do it like drinking a cup of water, like you said, a habit. It's like you go to the gym and lifting a weight. So why I'm saying that to you is because we often, I believe anyways, we often take for granted things that others place a high value on that to you and I, it's just normal what we do. You know what I'm trying to say?
Mm-hmm. Yeah, 100%. Yeah. I mean, sometimes we'll see other people. I mean, it's for us, we understand, but other people will look at like a habit of doing XYZ. We understand the habit, but it's the XYZs that they've developed. And we're like, fuck it. I appreciate that. I appreciate that.
Well, you know what? I guess actually, when I think about this, I'll take a page from you, like the oversimplification of something. Let's just talk about a fight or a punch. Like anybody could throw a punch. Like a theory, just you throw a punch, but actually you can't, right? Because it's hard to do. It's hard to do it proper. It's hard to sell it if you're in the business of wrestling or something like that. So, there's a good example of somebody going, "Oh my God, I spent gazillions of dollars going to two guys fight." When I'm like, "Well, why would you? Like, there's no value in seeing people fight." Well, no, but there is, because there's skill involved there. Same kind of thing, which is me looking at you going, "Wow, you can do some crazy shit." I'm thinking, "What? I could just pick up something heavy." Well, no, I had to do a million reps to pick up something heavy.
Well, in that the seeing the art of a fight, I guess it would depend on where you were watching it. If you're watching outside the bar, you're probably not seeing the guy that's sort of punched 1,000 times.
yeah, right. Yeah, exactly. Hey, how was the last 22 hours, man? How was your day yesterday? What anything exciting happened for you? Was it just a normal day, a normal good day?
Just a good day.
Yeah.
Yeah. I tend to try to veer away from the word normal, kind of like can't.
I would say so. No, yeah, normal is kind of a word that I don't like to. It's standard. So when we end the show, we do a quick regroup. I call it a standard. It's a standard. It's a day that is just like the day that's yesterday.
That's so much a better word because it's our standard.
Yes, that's it. That's exactly it. Yeah.
And normal is kind of known as the everyday man standard.
Yes. Yeah. Hey, so I know I don't know if you spend a lot of time watching the show. I watched it when Pam Anderson was on it and the other Tool Time girl was on it, Home Improvement with Tim Allen and the gang. It's just interesting when we watch these, we grew up with these people, and then over time we see certain characters go sideways and make decisions that you go, that's really unfortunate. Well, Brad Taylor, one of the guys on Home Improvement yesterday, is going to jail. Sterling Preston set it up so we can talk about it.
Nation, this isn't just celebrity news. Zachary got sentenced, and it's a clean look at how men spiral.
He got 16 months in county jail for a felony DUI tied to a February 2024 arrest in La Quinta. Probation got denied.
Say it hit harder because of prior DUIs, and he still got an Oregon probation violation hearing March 2, 2026.
Pattern stack.
What got me on this one was how people spiral.
Which one was he?
Here he is right here. You're going to see him coming up here. He was there he was there. He was the older one.
Oh, he was one of the kids. Okay.
That's right. Yeah, one of the kids. Yeah. It's interesting how people just spiral. I want to have a conversation, a serious conversation, like the idea of spiraling. And what I mean by that is, and you've known guys, maybe yourself, where one bad decision, and the next thing you know, maybe you're not fully recovered from that decision. The second one happens, then the third one, and life just goes out of hand, right? I'm sure you've been around some dudes, or maybe even yourself, John, where that's happened to you.
Oh, dude, listen, whether it's recognizable or not, just about every human self-sabotages.
Yes.
And the problem is normally, we don't notice the odds are. Yeah. The odds are we don't register ourselves like the people around us. That's why it's important to have people around you who will be fucking honest.
Yes. Yeah.
I mean, I have friends who, like my college roommate,
yeah.
He's a fucking guy, could have been whatever he wanted, but he was, as he put it bluntly, he says, the biggest difference I see between you and I is you got over the fear of failure. I was like, I didn't get over shit. I just wanted to use it. But the point is that he knows he could have done anything. And now he understands how much he self-sabotages. But at the same time, he doesn't recognize it until he's fucking up to here.
Oh, yeah.
I can't I got another buddy of mine, and he's come to me borrow money multiple times.
Yeah.
And I don't worry about him paying me back. As he put it, he goes, I would rather fucking, gnaw my fucking left arm off with my own fucking teeth and not pay you back. And I know that about him.
Yeah.
Whatever, a loan of $10,000. It might take me 5 years to recover, but he's chipping back. And but I've done it over the years, over the last 20 years, multiple times. And so the last time when he came and he had one of these fucking ideas or whatever it was he wanted to do. And he comes to me because he knows it's a safe spot. He knows I'm not going to chastise him. I'm not going to make fun of him. I'm not going to tell our other buddies. And it's going to be a fucking, but this time I say, dude, I'm going to say no this time because I don't think this is what you think it is. Because the other ones I knew, and he even said, he goes, I know this is risky, but I'm still going to try, and he got slammed a couple times, paid me back. Yeah. This is the third or the fourth time. I said, no. I said, I don't think this is going to work out in your favor, and I know you'll pay me back. It's not a question of that.
It's not really the point.
But as your friend, I'm going to tell you, no, don't do this. Yeah. And I knew if I didn't give him the money, he couldn't do it. He didn't have the ability to do it. Yeah. I saw him about a year later. Like, dude, thank God you told me no. Because that was a fucking scam. But the point of being is that you need those people around you to finally fucking say no.
Absolutely. I got Maurice. I got my guy who's that rock for me. You know what's incredible, Johnny, and Kai, we'll throw that clip from Good Time in a quick second here. You know what's incredible, Johnny, is the word unconditional. Like that's a difficult word to hold up to when you're the friend in a situation like you're in that situation with your friend. And what I mean by that is that you're showing unconditional love. And what's difficult for you is to have to use those two letters of no. But that's the right thing to do if you're going to show unconditional love. Because what you're saying to that friend, and I'm going to call myself as your friend. I know I'm your friend. I know I'm your brother. I know you'll have my back. So and I know that there's love unconditionally there. But what I guess there's an expectation that comes from that is when I am in a situation, that unconditional love has to have the courage to say no to me. You follow me?
It's kind of 100% agree. 100% agree. But the flip side, there's two sides of that coin though. Is the side of the coin where if you come to me and say, you know what, I know this is not a good idea, but I want to do it anyway. Yeah. Yes. Then I have to say, okay, I'm going to just realize that I'm going to watch you go through this pain. You understood as part of the equation, frustration, whatever it is. Yes. You're going to pay your consequence. Yes. The unconditional part for me in this scenario came when back for round 3 or 4. Yes. Like, whoa, okay. Another buddy of mine, dude, because I think they see me as the, of course, jokingly, I say the big dummy, but I'm out fucking starting businesses and I'm finding success. No, but you're actually stability. You're actually a figment of stability. You are. The joke is I was the meathead. Before these people known me way before I was successful. Yeah. You know what I mean? Yes. How's this guy gonna fucking make it? All he does is lift weights. Yeah. Yeah. You know what I mean? Yes. Anyway, I talked one of my fucking college roommates I haven't talked to in fucking years. He said, I was kind of worried about you in college. I didn't know what you were gonna do. And I'm like, I'm not gonna mention his name, but I'm like, dude, who's worried about who now? Yeah. Fuck. Jesus Christ. Yes. Yes. But anyways, this comes, you got this cool idea. He's like, man, there's these little fucking trucks in Japan and they're cool. They look like the size of a golf cart, but it's a legitimate truck. Yeah. Yeah. Little bed, the whole fucking thing. Yeah. I don't know the 2-cylinder motor, but it's legalized. You can drive them on the road. Like mini. He's like, I can import these and I can do this and I can sell them. And I've already got like 10 people that have said they'll buy one. So I need enough money that I can get a bunch of them over here. And I'm like, Jesus Christ, have you looked into what it's going to take to import them? Do you understand? There's not just, hey, I want these, put them in the fucking UPS package, please. Yeah. There's all sorts of fucking problems with this. Yeah. So I know, but I'm going to make so much money. There's people who end up. I said, okay, look, go get 5 deposits from all these people who want them. Then let's have another conversation. You know what I heard on the other end of the line? Tell me. Fucking crickets. Yeah, I was just gonna say click. Yeah, you got crickets instead. Crickets, because all of a sudden it went from an idea to something that he actually had to in reality go do, and instantly the fucking idea lost all of its luster. Yeah. Yesterday's conversation with the investors, we were classifying personality. And I said, dude, you talked to a lot of talkers, a lot of idea. I said, you're talking to a doer. You're talking to a thinker doer. I will do. When I tell you I'm going to execute, I'm going to execute.
And then I gave my track record. So you're absolutely right, man. A lot of people are like, but you posed an interesting question around the unconditional love, because you're right. That person's thinking, okay, well, John's always going to have my back. He's going to give in to me again. Right. So, which is quite interesting. Hey, coming up in a few minutes, we got Kevin Mihalik, or Kevin Mihalik. I'll have to get his name pronounced properly when I get him into the lab here. Johnny, he almost died with the BlackBerry in his hand. Now he's bringing it back. Coming up.
We're talking about what was the name again? I missed that.
His name is Kevin McCulloch. Kevin McCulloch. He almost.
We got to clarify the last name is what you're saying.
Yeah, because yesterday when I had coffee with Raymond Harris after the show yesterday, he's like, I'm like, Raymond. He goes, finally. I go, dude, I was saying your name the right fucking the way the whole time. Clearly, it just wasn't coming out right. My Canadian.
I swear to God, I heard one Vermont. I was like, oh, this is getting good.
That's too funny. Hey, good time dropped a clip here that relates to this conversation we're having. Kyle, let's run this one relating to love, unconditional love, and helping people out.
Hey, you, but pay attention to this clip.
In 1926, they discovered the perfect trap. 40 hours keeps you alive, but too tired to escape. Henry Ford ran the numbers. He tested different work schedules and found the sweet spot. 40 hours. Not because it's optimal for productivity, because it's optimal for control. Let's do the math. 40 hours work, 10 hours commuting, 56 hours sleeping, 14 hours for eating, showering, basic survival. That's 120 hours, leaving you 48 hours of free time. Except you're exhausted. So you spend Saturday recovering from the week, and Sunday dreading Monday. Your weekend isn't freedom. It's recovery time, so you can do it again. Monday morning.
Oh, yeah, there you go. So kill it there, Kai. So it's actually, it talks about survival versus living, Johnny, right? That whole idea is just that so many people spend more time surviving than living, right? And that's we talk about it all the time on this show.
You know what kind of fucking gets me? 100%. Everything is so correct, and it's so strategic. But one thing, we hear the name Henry Ford in different lights. We hear... Yeah. In like this iconic businessman, he changed the world. He did.
Yeah.
But what we didn't see was all of the fucking strategic controlling of the workforce, figuring out shit like this so he could do what he wanted to do. There's almost like two different Henry Fords. Are you listening to one that's being glorified or the one who's being vilified for his strategic attack on the very common, simple-minded person who didn't know any better?
Johnny, it's the same thing with all greats, though. You can say the same thing about Elon. You can say the same thing about Jobs. You can say that, you can. I'll use the word genius. Anybody who is out there, who's again back maybe on the stage instead of the stands. There's a level of that person that. Maybe even Taylor Swift. I'm just postulating with you right now that there's things that we don't see that are tightly controlled. To your point, it's messaging, vilification, or celebration, right? Because you're right, dude. We could tell a great history class of how great Henry Ford was. And we can flip the script and say how bad Henry Ford was at the same time.
Well, and I can only speak for myself. Yeah. With my ears,
yes.
I hear a lot more good about Henry Ford than bad. So when I do hear one of these, it's like, whoa, man, you got to remember, But you're very true. I mean, it's in many cases when you're going up the ladder of success or greatness, you don't realize how many fingers you're stepping on with your feet as you keep going.
Absolutely. History is selective with how we tell our stories in the future, right? And let's face it, right? The idea of a contrarian approach exists for a reason. As much as people want to celebrate Johnny, there's going to be as many people wanting to knock Johnny down. Coming up next, Kevin Mihalik. He almost died with his BlackBerry in his hand. Now he's bringing it back. But before we do that, Johnny, I know you're a man of the body, and I know you like doing experiments with the body, and you're interested in the body, and you are like my body experiment expert. Well, I got something for you that I know for a fact, brother, that you have never done. I know for an absolute unequivocal fact this has not been part of your life. Now, this is breaking science, brother. I mean, like, this is massive stuff that you're going to want to pay attention to. We have news now that tells us what happens when she drinks the load. Yeah. What happened?
Nation, TikTok's doing anatomy class now. A doctor broke down what happens if semen's swallowed.
It goes to the stomach. Acid and enzymes break it down like other proteins. No pregnancy from swallowing.
Nutritionally, it's basically nothing. Real concerns are rare allergies and STI risk, so communication and safety matter.
Johnny?
So what is it? What is this that I'm not following this whole train of thought.
So there's some news this morning that what happens when semen is swallowed? Yeah. So there's been speculation over the years that there was people wondering if you can get pregnant by drinking semen.
Jesus Christ.
And of course you can't, but there was also just kind of wondering.
Can you get pregnant when you stick it in the anus? Is that part of the process?
There was also questions around like what actually happens. Like what happens when the semen goes down the mouth and through the body? So we broke it down, right? It's the stomach acids such as peptin break it down into proteins, deactivate the sperm cells, eliminating any possibility, and then it basically just exits the body really quickly. So there you go. There's your lesson this morning, Anderson.
This was something that was this was kind of fucking known, kind of like, you know, when you go outside and it's raining, you get wet.
Well, no, but
we need a study to break down the molecules of the water on the skin.
People were wondering what happens inside the body when semen is swallowed during oral sex. Dude, I do my research for the show, and it was a trending topic. People were curious. We found it. And Kai went and did some research on TikTok, you know, the proverbial fact-based platform in the world where we get all the greatest news. And now we're here to talk about it this morning. So there you go. It's a sperm
not much of a conversation, but you know. So the whole thing about something that I experimented, you're talking about, I've never experimented with swallowing a load. That's what
I know you've never done that. Yeah. So sperm accounts for roughly 1 to 5% of the semen, with the rest is basically water-based seminal plasma. So out of all that liquid, only 1 to 5% of it is actually the semen.
Well, fuck, you only need one goddamn good swimmer.
That's it. Exactly it. All right, listen, we're pivoting to some more important stuff. Kevin Mahalik.
Hey, real quick, here's an experiment I'm doing.
Yes. What is it?
I'm mixing. What was the guy?
Cardio Miracle.
I'm mixing basically Cardio Miracle with my creatine first thing in the morning.
Oh, and no stogie this morning too. I'm noticing the absence of smoke.
What are you talking about?
Oh, okay, there you go. I guess I was thinking too much about the semen conversation.
I was going to say, dude, that's really fucking troubling when you miss my fucking cigar because you're talking about swallowing a load.
Good morning, Chief.
This is when the name Handsome Chief makes a lot of sense.
Good morning, Shaku Nakamoto this morning on Mornings in the Lab. Hey, Sophia Grant, I see our guest patiently waiting. Let's wind it up. Sophia Grant, center stage, Keith and John this morning on Mornings in the Lab with Keith and John. Come join us live, mitl.live, Monday through Friday, 8 o'clock Eastern time. Kai, let's get after it. Sophia, let's get the show on the road.
You ever look up from your phone and realize you traded your best hour for nothing? You weren't relaxing, you were escaping, and now you're behind, and you're irritated at yourself. Back to reality. That's the trap. Tech keeps you busy, but it doesn't move your life forward.
Kevin Crackberry Michaluk helped build the attention economy before anyone called it that. When he was 6, he rented out crayons to classmates. He made $1.62 before the teacher shut it down. The entrepreneurial bug never left.
Years later, he put a flag in the ground, bought crackberry.com for $15,000, and turned it into a daily meeting place. That meeting place turned into Mobile Nations. It became a media empire and sold for millions.
At one point, he was in a life or death situation at an airport. We're talking full-blown allergic reaction that almost ended it all.
So he grabbed his Porsche-designed BlackBerry, because if he was going out, he'd better do it in style. After that massive exit, a 3-year non-compete kept him from publishing online. He said it took 5 years to get his mojo back.
And the forced quiet did something. It put space between him and the machine he helped build.
Which brings us to his latest mission, saving the human race from doom scrolling. Talk about a radical pivot.
Welcome to the lab, Kevin. We're excited to have you here today.
Johnny, most people reach for a phone to call for help during a medical emergency, but this guy reached for his Porsche designed BlackBerry just to make sure he went out in style. That level of obsession turned a $15,000 domain into a $100 million empire. And he's down the road here in Winnipeg, Canada. His name is Kevin McCulloch. Kevin, what's shaking, brother? And I got to get your last name. How do you say it right?
Yeah, I want to hear how to say your last name for real, because I know after hearing it between our intro and Keith, neither one of them have, because they're too far apart. Let's hear it right from the source, brother.
So my parents branded me Kevin Michalak, but it's probably Mahalik or something like that, to be clear, right? Like that, it's a Ukrainian last name.
Yes,
but I thought Michalak. So I'm a Michalak, but everybody gets it wrong, which is why I go by Crackberry Kevin or CBK for the last 20 years, because there's only one of those in the world. You can't really screw it up, and you'll always remember it. So I just rebranded myself for my online business, phone persona, which is
I love
easy.
it. So Crackberry Kevin it is. Thanks for joining us, brother. Johnny?
Yeah, absolutely, Brian. And your intro said that you're basically now you're trying to help the human race from doom scrolling. Is that correct? If you had to put like the number one purpose of what you're doing, is that truly it? Because if that's it, that's a first, brother. We're not hearing a lot of people attacking this problem.
I'm going to say that's the benefit. I think at the end of the day, what we're building are products for people who take action and want to get shit done. And one of the traps that's happened for people who used to take action is we get on these side conquests all the time. Like we pick up our iPhone to do something. We get hit by a feed, and 3 hours later we get back to the thing we're doing. So,
and brother, I love this, because like with what I do in my coaching and mentoring company, people want to lose fat, want to get okay. Look, I'm going to help you get healthy, and you're going to lose fat as a positive side effect. So that's kind of what you're doing.
I'd say so. Yeah. Like I think if you try to punish people too much with negative consequences, negative rewards, it's not necessarily going to work long time. So in the case of the product we're launching this year, we're making this a great communication tool, right? It's focused on people, but the philosophy is every time you pick it up, we want you to add value to your day. We don't want you to go down these kind of like distractions that happen. And part of that's hardware design. You're not going to scroll TikTok on something that has a shorter rectangular screen, but part of it is also making it better to like get attention from the people who matter. So every time you pick this up, it's somebody important calling or messaging you and that kind of thing. So make it better, one thing, but the benefit is you slowly break some of those bad habits. And if you do need to go more cold turkey, if you do need to go cold turkey, you can have both phones. And, when you're leaving the house to walk your dog, you maybe don't need this one. You take this one and you're just in a better situation for your day. But killing doom scrolling needs to happen a little bit. I mean, the world has gone off the rails with too much screen time.
Yeah, I would agree with that. I would agree. And my first line of defense for my own personal, I don't obviously have a device like this. I just took all the apps that I was trying to avoid and put them on the third page.
Totally.
So
tactics like that work great until you get bored and then you find them again. But 100%, you got to do those things.
So Kev, you're in Winnipeg, brother. And that's, so I'll be frank, I've been following you. So you didn't know this, but we grew up together. I was building ICUC here in Winnipeg while you were building Crackberry. You also don't know this. I worked for Rogers Cantel when Rogers launched the first 3 RIM pages in Winnipeg, and I had one of them. So I was carrying a 957 pager back when, laying on my couch responding. I landed the first Coca-Cola deal with ICUC because I responded to an email in less than a second. People were like, how the fuck did you do that? I go, I get this BlackBerry thing. So dude, I have been in your world before you even probably know it. And I mean that I'm just here. I'm here and headingly building my thing. So when I saw you do the clicks thing, yes, I saw you do the clicks thing. I got to be honest, man. I got to put it out there. That's just who I am. I love what you're doing. I don't fully understand it. And that's why I'm so fascinated about it. Because Johnny, they're literally their company is swimming completely upstream against everybody else. And I know
that's what tells you you're doing it right.
I know. And that's why I'm so fucking fascinated why I wanted Kevin on the show. Because I got nothing but respect for what he's doing. I've followed his journey from a business perspective. Johnny, Kevin, I've been fanboying over you because I followed your journey. I was a Crackberry reader. I was a fucking diligent Crackberry reader, nonstop Crackberry reader. And then I saw you sold the thing. And then I saw a few years ago, you got this clicks thing. And I got to be honest, I was like, this is fucking ridiculous. I'm like, I just want to tap on the screen. And then I saw you do it again. I'm like, I got to get this guy on the show. So, dude, I got so much admiration for your journey towards darkness when everybody can't see the light. And I mean that really respectfully.
Love it. Love it. Lots to unpack there. I mean, we can start on a couple of angles, and if I get going too far, just, interrupt me and bring it back. But I think the one word answer to the question of like, what made us do this crazy thing is actually data. And I had an unfair data advantage because with what we built with Mobile Nations and specifically with Crackberry, I became the one guy on a planet of, how many people are on the planet now?
Yeah.
7 billion, 8 billion.
Yeah.
Who knows the demand for buttons on a phone that never went away because there's nobody else to complain to but me. Right. So when BlackBerry got out of the game,
hold on, forgive me for buttons on a phone that never went away. Help me understand
the demand. Right. So when the iPhone came out, Steve Jobs gets on stage.
Kev, back it up, Kev, because Johnny had a Treo and so did I. So John and I both grew up with fingerboard keyboards.
Totally.
You mean all those things that you never used? You mean?
Depends if you're messaging people or not, right? And programming shortcuts, but prior to if you go back to like the smartphones, right, or analog phones, you had those little number pads that were really a pain in the ass to type on. You get the full keyboard on it, and you get tactile rhythm. You can start typing on a phone without looking at it.
Yeah.
You could be walking down a street or in the back of a bumpy Uber ride, which I guess back then Uber didn't exist, and you're still pounding out messages with accuracy, right? And when Steve Jobs gets on stage and announces the iPhone, a phone without buttons, he basically declared war both in the tech space, but culturally on buttons, right? Kind of saying, hey, this is now a dated feature. That's his story to push. And it worked. And the benefits, especially when you're adding touchscreen and which didn't really exist either before then, right? We didn't have capacitive touch and swiping and all these things. We had kind of just dead displays. It was a 1-2 punch he gave, and it worked, right? Like everybody in the industry had to follow suit for iPhone. And the one company that people really continued to love buttons with was BlackBerry, right? And others at the time emulated BlackBerry before Apple. So even when Google came out with the first Android phones, they weren't full touchscreen devices. They looked like BlackBerries because that's what everybody was buying and wanting. But everybody only wanted a BlackBerry. So like Samsung, other, T-Mobile G1 devices, they didn't really take off. BlackBerry was it. But BlackBerry fell behind on software. They didn't get the apps, right? You couldn't get Instagram on your BlackBerry. And it wasn't buttons that killed BlackBerry. It was the lack of software. And everybody ended up having to have a touchscreen device. And for a lot of people, if that's what you grew up with first, no problem, it. A lot of people adapted forcefully or, they chose to. And it was the right decision to remove the keyboard from the standard touchscreen phone to open up that screen real estate for more space and everything else, right? But for certain tasks, again, probably 90% of what people do on their phone is communicate.
Mm-hmm.
Well, you kind of lost the thing that brought a lot of benefit to it. And a lot of people who had that BlackBerry, they never had an alternative again. So even a decade ago, Ryan Seacrest, American Idol guy, back when iPhone was still iPhone version 4, he went and he made like a keyboard accessory for the iPhone that made your iPhone into a BlackBerry. Because what was happening is people were dual wielding phones. They're like, I need this iPhone for Instagram, but I still need this, my BlackBerry for messaging, but I'm carrying 2 devices. Maybe I can try to do it with one. He got sued by BlackBerry for that because he literally tried to clone an iPhone into a BlackBerry. But the demand for the product was really huge. You still had like millions of people saying, I want this. That goes away. BlackBerry keeps building phones, but becomes less relevant. And eventually BlackBerry says, we're going to become a software company, a security company. We're out of the hardware game. And they shut everything down in that business. And even the BlackBerry support forums for all their previous customers, they messaged me and they said, hey, Kevin, can we just send these people to crackberry.com for you to deal with? Basically, like we're done with this. So what happens is I continue to be the guy that everybody comes to every week, LinkedIn messages, Twitter DMs, emails.
Yeah.
Kevin, when is there going to be a new phone with buttons? Is BlackBerry going to make something again? Like every day you still get those messages for years and years and years. And back in like 2017, 2018, that was kind of the last hurrah of BlackBerry, where the Canadian company actually licensed the brand to a Chinese company called TCL to relaunch an Android-based BlackBerry. So you had all the apps of Android, but you still had a keyboard. They got a lot of attention for it. I was actually on stage emceeing the event in Barcelona to unveil the phone, because they knew, like the TCL Chinese company knew, if you're going to get a bunch of BlackBerry people back in the game, Kevin has the database of millions of previous customers. They couldn't even get that from BlackBerry at that point in time. So I was able to help them get going with it. It was a weird time, 2017, 2018, because they were trying to still sell almost through like global retail from day one versus adopt a D2C model. And I'd say didn't have the budgets to work with.
Yeah.
But as the guy behind the scenes helping them do, strategic, like digital marketing and everything, I saw the analytics, I saw the traffic, and they almost had like a fulfillment logistics distribution issue to really scale that business and make TCL and BlackBerry through their licensing agreements happy. So that lasted a couple of years. They launched a few phones, but it never quite hit the commercial success that either party at that scale needed. But, in my head, I was like, oh, there's a way to actually build, a new BlackBerry and do it profitably and do it at a smaller scale initially and grow slower over time without the same sort of demands.
Interesting.
So a few years go by, I'm kind of still plodding away. I'm still running my media company, which I sell in 2019, stay on board for a year to do the earnout period. Kind of a little bit lost, as your introduction said. After that, I was in a bit of a weird period post exit, as Keith, I knew you went through the same thing. And started to talk to people again in 2022, started to like get some mojo back, and kind of decided if I'm going to compound my 15 years of learnings in the tech media space, where I was the guy reviewing products and talking, like being a pro level customer, it's either like, if I'm doing something again, I'm either staying in media, or I could take everything I learned about tech and all those relationships I built and actually go with the other side of the same coin, which is start building tech products, actually be somebody who builds it. And what I don't know isn't really an issue, because I know all the people who know all those things, right? We have the best, the guy who designed this is our Clicks device, is the same guy who designed the most iconic BlackBerries of all time, right? Like, guess what? He's available, not working for BlackBerry, has, 20,000 hours of experience that no engineer and industrial designer on the planet has for a product like this. And I can actually pull in the right people to this team. So it took a while, but we set out with the ambition to get to launching a product like this, but we didn't, it's an expensive, big risk. So in 2024, we actually launched with an accessory for the iPhone. So if I take this off, this was the thesis is, can we start by going to the most popular product in the world, an iPhone, build a keyboard case, which costs less money to make and less financial risk to engineer than a device, and see if it works and if there's demand for it. And when we announced it to the world on January 4th, 2024 at the Consumer Electronics Show in Vegas, it blew up, right? It became one of the top stories of the year. One was an AI gadget and one was clicks, and literally went viral from, across the internet, across social media, the 6 o'clock news across every local station in the US, your CNNs, your New York Times, worldwide. We blew up overnight, right? So we were able to sort of bootstrap this into existence, and then got such a head start. We were able to cash flow the business and learn a lot, get deals right away, like Best Buy wanting to put it in their top stores across the US. And all that data, coming back to data, just further validated that while we might be swimming upstream or, climbing a mountain into a freaking hurricane with an avalanche coming down in the broader scope of the world, we built the best team on the planet to go after this opportunity that, might seem small on a percentage basis of the global smartphone market, but literally the smartphone is the single biggest category.
Well, and at that point, you're chasing market share. If you get 1% of market share, you got yourself a nice little business there. So we're hanging out with BlackBerry Kevin this morning with Keith and John on Mornings in the Lab with Keith and John. Hey, so I want to throw something on the table here. I got a question for you about user interface in a couple minutes here. But before we do that, I move fast. Johnny moves fast. And somebody we talk about on the show often moves fast. His name is Elon Musk. He moves ridiculously fast. And I got to admit, I follow much of his philosophies. I got an interesting clip here I want to put on the screen here. Let's talk about it, which talks about how he sets deadlines at the 50th percentile. Because Kevin, as you were working on that product, it was deadline after deadline. And some people were saying to you, oh, Kevin, it's going to take you 3 years to make this. You're like, no, I got to get it done in 30 days. So let's just watch this clip, Kai. Let's run this clip with Elon talking about how he handles deadlines.
Let's move fast. Yeah, I'm constantly addressing the limiting factor. So, I mean, on the deadlines front, I generally actually try to aim for a deadline that I at least think is at the 50th percentile. So it's not like an impossible deadline, but it's the most aggressive deadline I can think of that could be achieved with 50% probability. Which means that it will be late half the time. But whatever, like, there is like a law of gaseous expansion that applies to schedules. Like whatever schedule you like, if you said we're going to do this something in like 5 years, which to me is like infinity time, it will expand to fully available schedule, and it'll take 5 years.
Let's cut it, Kai. Let's cut it.
You know,
so I liked his point there, Kevin. If you give somebody 5 years, it's going to take 5 years to get it done. And it's human nature. John, you and I talk about it all the time. When you give somebody a certain amount of time, nobody's going to try to get it done quicker. Kevin, as you've been going through your journey in business, do you subscribe to that philosophy, or how have you been able to get things done rapidly?
Yeah, great question. I think there's a name too for that principle, right? Where your time will expand.
Oh, Parkinson.
Yeah. I never knew that was a principle until maybe last year. I finally saw it on an Instagram reel or something. I'm like, absolutely true. 100% agree. So for us, the factor we aimed for was we knew what day we wanted to announce the product before we ever built the product. So if I go back to this, it was January 4th, 2023, sitting in Las Vegas at a bar when time kind of stood still, and we said, yes, this is like, there's only a few people on the planet crazy enough to build a keyboard case for an iPhone right now in 2024, or in 2023 for 2024. And I think it's a good idea. Let's do it. And within the next minute, we knew we had to announce it January 4th, 2024, a year later. So it gave us 1 year to get to a spot where we could announce that product, or we would have missed our date and I would have waited the next year. Because again, a product like this is already out of sync with time. I'm not creating the future with this. I'm actually capturing a bit of my initial audience is going to be people who want something that they miss a little bit from the past brought into today. And the reason it was January 4th was because the Consumer Electronics Show, biggest tech event of the year, the media conglomerates in Vegas. And what do they want? Stories to report, right? So if you're a startup and you can break through the noise, because there's 5,000 products exhibiting there, but if you can cut through that clutter, you are going to get more amplification of your story and message than anything you can buy through ads the other 364 days of the next year. So we had to get it done in that time frame. Now, in a perfect world, I would have had the product ready to ship for a bunch of models on January 4th, 2024, because I got, 3 million visits on the website in 48 hours. I would have sold $100 million worth day one. Instead, we had to we took some pre-orders for what we were supporting. It took a few months to finally get the product to market, just because the way our timelines
Did that kill momentum for you? Did that kill momentum?
No, we still were able to capture dollars. So it didn't. We still were able to capture. But in a perfect world, we would have had more support for more products, because when we launched, we only supported iPhone 14 and 15. That's a very small subset of the amount of interest we had from people on Samsung devices, older iPhones, Google Pixels. And we just didn't have that with this design of product, which needs to fit your phone perfectly. But we got so much attention by the way we announced it. I wouldn't change anything going back in time. And the same thing was true with this. Now, I didn't expect this to get as much attention this year because we got so much attention 2 years ago. I'm like, what are the odds you go back to the biggest tech show of the year? You're doing another product with buttons. That was already the big story 2 years ago. You think you need like a 7-year gap, but there is just so
Brother,
much.
my simple mind says that you brought an upgraded version 2 years later.
Totally. And a single SKU
because it's more applicable. Because most people, like you said, having a second device, well, shit, I can just take what I've got. It's a small addition. So again, I'm comparing myself to people that are not like you two, that see more of a simple, friendly, user friendliness, maybe easier interface. Oh, I just got to buy the extension versus I got to buy this whole other device. So it makes perfect sense to me why the second generation was a massive hit.
Massive hit. And they both have been. Like, we've gotten that attention each time. And it just comes back to, well, everybody is zigging. You know, we chose to pick on a feature to zag with. And, you know, I think people who, like, if I digress for a second into startups, right? Like, startups are freaking hard, you know? So you show a clip of Elon and he's another level of crazy founder, you know, that we haven't seen probably in the past and might not see in the future. It's alien level, you know, execution and hard problems that he picks. But if you think about a lot of startups, most people fail, right? What is the rate? You know, it's whatever, 90% of startups don't make it past year 2 or something like that. But a lot of startups in the tech space, they're always trying to create the future, right? But the thing is, you can't create the future the day you launch the product. You need to start a year or 2 in the past to put in the work to do the thing that you're going to announce. And the world is still changing while you're bringing something to market.
Dude, I can relate. It's what we're doing here on the show. I can fully relate to that whole thing. Yeah.
So now, you know, when you launch your thing, the world has to be at the right spot and the world needs to be open for this new future you're trying to create. And that is really hard. So I think for us, for something that we're doing, by starting with a product that almost had one foot in the past, but again, coming back to data, I never had a doubt that we would have, I knew we were going to have customers. You know, the question would be just how many zeros on that customer base would there be? But I knew we were going to have customers and enough to, you know, hit our minimum order quantities and probably, you know, have a business, right? A great business, don't know, but like we'd have a business, not just a project that sizzles and fizzles. So we got going with one foot in the past. This was a product kind of catering to what people were missing. You know, the products we announced this year, while this might look like your old BlackBerry, the timing for this, and coming back to the intro video around, you know, stopping doom scrolling, well, these are words that didn't exist in 2009 when BlackBerry was top of the game, or 2007. These are new problems the world created. And it turns out a product like this that looks a little bit old but updated and new helps to solve a very 2026 problem today. So this is maybe a little bit in the past when you look at the keyboard. It's actually addressing problems right now, which is this need to like get a little intentional with how we use our phones, you know, bring back some of that missing tactility that a lot of people long for. But, you know, as a company, we're not just building something that lives in the past, you know, we're looking to the future. So when I look at this button on the side, you know, this is our sort of push to talk button, right? We call it the prompt key. And this is sort of the platform for the future, because when you hold this in your hand, it feels better than any phone you've held in 20 years. And I would actually argue when I get one to you guys, you're going to be like, I've never held something in my hand that actually feels this good. It almost has this walkie-talkie like mindset to it. And what we're trying to do is retrain your thumb not to be a power button on the side of the phone. That's the stupidest use of a button for the ample, you know, appendage of your thumb on the side of a device. That should be push to talk. That should be voice. That should be press, hold, talk to ChatGPT all day long. Or call your AI assistant.
You actually got ahead of my question, because I would you agree or disagree with me? The interface of the future is what we are doing right now. So how do you combat that?
Yeah, that's exactly it, right? So the way I look at this today is it's about choice. So when I like to use buttons is when I am composing. I want to take very specific words out of my brain, get them on the screen, correct the first time, because I am emailing one of my employees or I'm emailing somebody and putting my signature on it. And that's why we have, you know, our customer base for this includes CEOs of some of the biggest freaking companies in the world, like the $1 trillion ones. And there's only so many of those that you can look into, because when those people send a message, it has to be perfect. There cannot be mistakes, and they're putting their name and reputation on it. But if I'm talking, I'm voice dumping, right? I don't care who I'm sending to. It's just me coming through. Obviously, we're all fast talkers. You know, we can talk at 100, probably 200 words a minute if you start to record it. You know, on a keyboard, 10-finger keyboard, I can probably type 120 words a minute. But, you know, on a keyboard like this, good typing is probably 50 to 75 words a minute, right? But at 50 to 75 words a minute, I can create the words at the speed. I can create really good sentences. But the problem with voice OS and talking, and I will make a prediction here to say, like, if you don't correct and we just talk, the quality of what we put out in the world in text is going to get really hard to read, right? Because I'm a bad talker. I use a lot of words. I'm verbose. I'm fast. I don't like to think before I speak. I like to unload. That's been who I am my whole life. I need to type, so I slow down and create things that represent.
We put a lot of words in that don't need to be there when we're just speaking.
Yeah,
well,
exactly.
You know what's fascinating too, Johnny, is that Kevin's inventing something. You and I've talked about this before on the show here, is car companies are going back to adding buttons into the car because people are getting tired of the touchscreens. And it's like, you know, people want tactile experiences. So that's what's quite fascinating with me, with me and with Kevin speaking. Hey, Kev, I know we had you for 30 minutes. You got a few extra minutes to hang out with us past the top of the hour here?
Yeah, I got a few extra. Yeah,
awesome. So we're gonna do our reset. We're gonna do lifestyle tip with Anderson, reset hour 2. Come back and wrap up with Crackberry Kevin this morning live on Mornings and Live with Keith, John, and friends. Lifestyle tip, reset hour 2, and we'll get into some further conversation with Kevin. Let's get after it, Kai.
Let's go. Let's keep it short. Let's keep it sweet. Let's keep it actionable. Currency, that word currency. Most people think dollars, money. Well, currency it can be defined in many shapes and forms. Well, let's say currency is important. Let's say currency helps us move ahead. Say currency helps better our lives. So many ways we can define currency. But now that we've defined it with more of an open-minded position, what's the biggest currency? What is the biggest currency? Action. Stop thinking about it and go fucking do it. You can sit there and dream for the rest of your goddamn life. You know what a dream is without action? It's called a wish. So when you think about currency, what's important? What do you need to change your life for the better? Action. Stop thinking about it. Get off your ass and go do it. Rock and roll.
All right, welcome back to the show where we get it. There we go. Good job there, Kai. Thank you for that one. Hey, guys, welcome back to Mornings Live with Keith, John, and friends, your live morning show where we help man and all humans start their day with entertaining conversations, momentum, and positive energy. I love John's tip there, man, because he's so right. We talk, but without action, it's actually just a wish or even just a dream. Our guest, Crackberry Kevin, he has been active. Yes, he's the BlackBerry guy. And you know what? What I love about his story is that he could have sat around and not done nothing about it. He could have accepted everybody's negative comments, but it's not going to work. 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 But like Anderson said, he took action and he's getting after it. And we're bringing it back into the lab this morning. Kevin, Crackberry Kevin, dude, you have been swimming upstream on this for a number of years. And how is business going now that you've relaunched this thing? How's it going?
2026 has been awesome. I mean, you're always going to have problems and challenges and roadblocks and things to overcome in business, but I love 2026's problems much more than 2025's. And for us, that was the realization that, you know, when we started with a keyboard case accessory, while it was the right product to launch first in 2024, scaling that business is what I like to call SKU hell, right? Because we need to build an accessory that fits every model of device. And, you know, again, there's always a new iPhone getting announced every September, that kind of thing. We very quickly became a business with 60 SKUs between the different models we supported and the colors. And I'm like, oh, this just gets harder and harder as we go.
Yes.
So in 2020, you know, even in late 2024, going into 2025, we decided we wanted to, you know, try to become more single SKU in our product offerings, right? So like this is one product. We have another product we announced in January called Power Keyboard, and it's a one size fits all combination power bank and Bluetooth keyboard
Nice.
that you can slap on the back of basically any phone, right? With
Nice.
a magnet. And it's like a no-brainer. It's like, well, it'll charge my phone if my battery's low, or I have basically a Clicks keyboard I can use with my phone, or my TV, my tablet, or anything else like that.
Yeah.
Super clever invention, but single SKU product. So we can make tons of those, and it's on our agenda. So whether it lasts, a year or 2 years or 3 years before we release the next one, we get to make that decision. We're not beholden to the phone, somebody else's phone timeline, right?
Love it.
2025 was a really tricky year because we put all of our investment, our time, our energy into the products we're launching in 2026, and just kind of, ran the core business that we were in market with as efficiently as possible so we could get ready for this year. And this year is just gangbusters. I mean, it's one of those things where, we haven't disclosed numbers, but what I'll say is, when we made our pessimistic, realistic, optimistic projections at the end of last year, we are multiples ahead of our optimistic projections.
Nice.
So that's fantastic, but creates new challenges in terms of how quick we scale supply chain and things like that.
Yeah.
Which is great though. And it's there, like there's lots that you can mess up. So we work every day now on just delivering the product, but we've really shown that the demand is not an issue. Like there's a demand for this at the scale we're operating at with the size we're doing. I don't expect Apple or Samsung or somebody to all of a sudden come into our space, but for what we're building, the way we're building it, and bringing that community along with us, it's gotten a lot of attention. And I think now, a few years later, swimming upstream, we're sort of just an accepted part of the mobile tech industry now, which is fantastic. Because to your point, on day one when we announced, it's like, oh, this is going to get a lot of attention, and they'll be gone in 3 weeks or 3 months. People predicted the failure to come fast and hard. And that's just energy, right? That's fuel to work with. So, business is not easy, but we've got the right people and ideas and products now that we're fighting with, and really excited. So things are going great.
Awesome. Crack Break, Kevin, with myself and John Anderson this morning on Mornings Alive with Keith, John, and friends. Hey, Kev, I would, if you can, I'd like you to stick around for a couple more minutes on this one. So, how to forgive yourself for the last 5 years. One of the big topics this show is all about helping people get going, get after things, and achieve big goals. And some of the challenges we all have is men, especially, is we beat ourselves up and we can't move forward. Sterling Preston, let's set this conversation up with how to forgive yourself for the last 5 years.
Men, you're not burned out. You're billed out. The last 5 years left an invoice. You keep pretending you didn't get it.
That's why you feel like an imposter. It isn't laziness. It's shame you never paid. And it's collecting interest.
You're punishing 2026 you for 2021 you. He didn't have the tools you've got now.
And the comparison trap makes it worse. You look at their highlight reel, then sentence yourself. That isn't toughness. It's a chokehold. Bring the whole mess to the table. We're doing a self-forgiveness audit. Then we're building a clean slate for the next 5 years.
Kev, I know you got to rock and roll, so I just want to ask you quickly before you roll. How have you been able to forgive yourself for the last 5 years of ups and downs and mistakes and successful business guy starting all over again? Been able to do it, man.
So, John said it on the tip, right? Taking action is probably the biggest thing, but figuring out what you're going to take action with on and who you're going to take action with became the unlocks to taking action, right? So, my biggest challenge I had was the timing of when I left my company post exit there, lining up with a pandemic, right? Like I literally, we sold in March 2019.
Pandemic starting.
Had a 1 year earn out, so I was still working there, and then I gave my notice. Almost, I think it was probably basically the pandemic started. I was still there. And then I was turning 40 on May 16th that year of 2020. And I'm like, you know what? I'm going to take a break, right? Because I've been hustling for 15 years. And I'm like, I did my thing. We're done. I'm going to stop. but I didn't have a plan of what I was going to do next flushed out. And in hindsight, I should have just stayed working in that job, despite it being the 40-hour trap of Henry Ford, because I didn't have something. So what did I do? I took a break. The first 6 months were good. Like, pandemic starts, it's a staycation and everything. But, living in Winnipeg, it, Keith, it's like, we have gym closures, what can you do but sit home and watch TV, pet your dog, and start drinking, Caesars at 9 a.m. And I just went down from what was a nice recovery period became a bad habit. And coming to doom scrolling, I never had a doom scrolling problem when I was building my last business, because I had no effing time to doom scroll. I was working.
Nor was it interesting. It's not interesting to doom scroll when you're fucking building something.
Yeah. But all of a sudden, I have nothing to do. I'm sitting home, eating, drinking, petting the dog, watching TV, and then watching TV and Netflix, catching up on 15 years of Netflix binging I missed because I was working. Now I'm doom scrolling. And then I became that addicted victim to the modern day smartphone.
You became that guy, right? I'm going to make some sense here.
Gained, health went up, everything went up, like bad. I went for one of those executive health assessments, and they're like, your liver is getting kind of large. The 3 years prior when I went, I was a green light on my liver health. All of a sudden, it's like, yeah, you're getting into that red zone. You got to pull it back. And I'm like, oh shit, it didn't. Living it day by day,
you took action, and John talked about it, and I want to lean here because it's so hard for us to take action, but something in your head was like, I got to fucking do something. What was it?
Totally. So I did a very specific thing towards the, it was summer, like September of 2022. And I realized I needed to get out of the funk. And I went down a path one night, searching shit online. And I actually decided to hire a performance coach. And I was like, I don't think I need therapy, because my head went like, I've got a problem here. Do I need to talk to a therapist, or do I just need to talk to somebody? And I didn't have people to talk to, because all my old employees and friends and stuff, they're still working their day jobs. I can't bug them all day. So my old work family, you kind of lose that when you sell a company, right?
Well, and here's the thing too, Kevin, is they're actually just you're paying them. So there's a different dynamic there. So that's what's crazy. That's what people forget too, is that they're your work family, but you're paying them. So the dynamic there is different.
It's different. 100%. And you realize that after that, it's like, oh, okay, not paying you anymore. There's some people I stayed in close contact with to this day, but a lot of the work family, you're not paying them. It's a different relationship there that exists. So I didn't have anything going on in my life, but I hired a performance coach, which, was probably, I don't know, $6,000 a year commitment or $8,000 a year or something like that. So not cheap, just to get on a call initially every 2 weeks. And then it was, we switched to monthly.
That's actually, if you honestly, bro, that's fucking really cheap. Jesus Christ.
Yeah. At the time it was, I don't know, that it was something like that, maybe American dollars. So a little more than maybe 10 grand Canadian or something. But, the starting point task I had was, I'm just going to make a point to once a week, call somebody I haven't talked to in years, right? Like, go to my LinkedIn, scroll through. And if I see a name that I get a little bit of a little emotional connection to, like, oh, I haven't talked to Rob in ages, make a point of calling somebody. Because the problem is, if you're out there on the internet posting content all the time, you get this association that people are following you and they know you, but the funny thing, and they expect you to be there. But if you don't post for a year, or in my case when I was in my non-compete and I literally couldn't post anything online, reaches out to ask you really where you disappeared to. You just don't show up on those ones. And eventually, maybe that's an algorithm thing. You're just not posting content and you kind of fade away. So I had this realization that while I had made many friends and met so many people, but largely remotely, and I'm not in an office, I'm going to need to be the one to get on the call and be like, hey, what's up? You want to catch up this week? Half hour? It's been way too long. And my one task was reconnect with old friends, colleagues, people I met at conferences years ago. And that's where it started, right? It worked well. And then I put out a few things, and I did one thing that was really interesting. And I know, Keith, about the loss of identity you have after you sell a company. Well, I literally sold my identity as part of my transaction. Because crackberry.com was an asset making money still in 2019. And
sold it.
And the Crackberry Kevin social handles were also making money tied to that brand. I sold even my persona got sold as part of that transaction. So I was able to actually go to the company and buy back my social handles because obviously nothing was happening with them. I even bought back Crackberry because in 2019 or 2020, 2022, they're like, we're just going to delete the website because there's no BlackBerry anymore. What's the point of running it? And I was able to buy my stuff back. And I literally bought back my identity. Not that I really wanted to be Crackberry Kevin again. I didn't have the plan for clicks yet. That wasn't in my head. But what I knew is if I put out to the world that, CBK is back in action, maybe somebody's going to reach out to me. And it took literally a blog post, a couple social posts, and all of a sudden I had some of my old contacts that I had known over the last 15 years reach out to me. And one of them turned into, before I started Clicks, a project out of Switzerland that we built in over 2023. Where it's almost like the spiritual successor to the BlackBerry operating system. So not iOS, not Apple, not Google Android, but a private, secure operating system, kind of like how BlackBerry used to be known for. Hard project, software, etc. But I was like, hey, yeah, I got nothing going on. I would love to help work on the business plan and go help raise some money for this new thing. And all of a sudden, I'm like, oh, I've got a team again. I got people to talk to again. I've got a bit of purpose again coming. Didn't know where it was going to lead, but I'm like, action yielded a bit of momentum. And then I had another thing happen, and I bought back some more of my old tech platform, and some of my old employees became available. And I was like, you know what? Another iron in the fire. Don't know if it's going to work, but let me get a bit of a performance marketing tech platform agency going. So I started to put that, not quite knowing where it was going to go. And then coming into 2023 with the idea for Clicks, I was like, another iron in the fire. And 2023 became a year where I said, I know I suck at focusing on more than one thing at a time, but I'm going to put these three things in the like going, give them a little bit of momentum, a little inertia, put a little money into each one, try to find a person who could maybe lead each one in case I get excited about one of the three things and want to go all in. And that's what I did. And it was, it was later in 2023 where all of a sudden I was like, oh, Clicks is my all in. Like I had my latest working prototype. I knew it was going to go viral as soon as I saw it and had it. I'm like, this will blow up the internet when it gets out there to the world. And I put in leadership on each of the other projects to kind of take those things off my day-to-day thinking. And that was it, right? So it took like phoning people, being really open with those people about how things were going, putting myself out there a little bit, but not to the point of like, I'm going to become a full-time content person again. I didn't want to.
What I take out of it, and Johnny, you when you coach customers and you coach when you mentor your guys, you'll tell a guy just to put his shoes on and go for a walk. And what I take from Kevin's story is that his mentor just said, contact somebody. Right. So Johnny, just
simple.
The idea of
boil it down, pull all the layers back, and just real simple shit.
The idea of action, so hard to do. Crackberry Kevin, thanks for hanging out with myself and John this morning on Mornings in Live with Keith, John, and friends. Where can we get your product? Where can people connect with you, find you? You and I should grab a coffee later today. But where can folks find you, brother? Besides Crackberry Kevin.
Yeah. So clicks.tech is the website, or if that's hard to remember, go to clicksphone.com. That's a little bit easier. You can reserve the phone now. We have other products we're selling, so hit it up there. I'm at Crackberry Kevin on all the platforms. So whether that's Instagram, X, LinkedIn, etc. And I appreciate it. Really fun to be here with you guys. Love it.
That's awesome. Yeah. And Kevin, let's grab, if you got some time, let's grab a coffee. I'd like to learn more about the business and talk a little bit, it's just, the business side of things as well. We'll do that. And, and so that there is the new communicator, and that's on Android, right? That's operating on Android. Am I correct?
Correct.
Yeah.
Correct.
And that is so that's something that John would want to put in his pocket just to type off and bang off notes, right?
Heck yeah.
Awesome. All right, Kevin McCulloch, Crackberry Kevin, joining myself, John Anders this morning on Mornings in Live with Keith, John, and friends. Kevin, you have an awesome day, brother. We'll be in touch, okay?
You too. Thanks so much. Bye, guys.
All right.
Pleasure to speak with you today, brother.
All right, Kevin's out of here. Johnny, you gonna get one of those things, man? Get one of those things for your phone. Get tapping.
I love the concept. It's just anytime I'm forced to like have a new interface, it's just it's like even though when the iPhone updates, it's like, God damn it. Now I got to learn all this new shit. Like, even though it's more efficient, it used to be the little search window was at the top. Now it's at the bottom. My fucking thumb is still reaching for the top.
So what I enjoy about their story and Kevin's story is what you talk about nonstop is that running towards the darkness when everybody's running towards the light, because they very much are creating something that many people would be questioning, and even I was as well. Why? But as he was explaining to me, and I think more about it, if you're capturing market share, 1% of then you guys
huge, huge. I mean, it's a gold mine of an idea and a product. I'm not a good example because I'm in the process of trying to build people between me and all of this shit.
Yes. Yeah, that's exactly right. That's exactly.
So I want my people to have something like that, but I'm not interested in taking on another interface.
Yes. Yeah. Well, so where I get intrigued though, Anderson, is that is the demographic for that product, right? Because that demographic would be more of our demo, right? But are the younger kids wanting tactile experiences, or are our kids wanting voice experiences? I don't know. And the good thing is they're going to find it out as they go along the way. Hey, I know you know this because you carry them in your pocket all the time, but I got a fun little did you know just for the audience right now. Daily almonds linked to heart, blood sugar, and weight benefits. We got a little did you know segment coming up. What happens if you eat almonds all of the time? Kai, let's run the segment.
Did you know a daily serving of almonds is linked to better heart markers and steadier blood sugar? The portion is 1 ounce, about 23 almonds, not a handful, not the whole bag. They're loaded with monounsaturated fats, fiber, magnesium, and vitamin E, the kind of stack tied to lower LDL. Fiber plus protein helps you feel full, which supports weight control and keeps the snack spiral in check. They've got antioxidants too, and clinics link that to inflammation support, plus skin and gut benefits. So John is right. Keep almonds in your pocket, keep it moderate. That's today's Did You Know? Back to Keith and John.
I haven't been talking much about your almonds lately. Do you still keep them in the pocket?
Well, I mean, keep in mind, almonds in the pocket is a tool for someone that is still trying to learn how to do everything the way that it should be done. That makes sense?
Yes, it does. Absolutely.
I don't need almonds in my pockets because my brain calculates to make sure that I have my next, whatever I'm supposed to eat next with me.
Yeah.
Almonds in the pockets are for the guy that keeps fucking that up.
Yes. Good morning, Dwayne Whitaker. I see you in the comments, brother. I see you out there. Good morning, Rico. Good to have you out there as well. So I make sure I get my almonds. I go throughout my day and I grab a little handful. Usually in the afternoon, I'll walk over to the kitchen and grab a little handful and just throw them in my mouth and have a little chew on them. It's
I mean, it's one of the things that people, why almonds? All the reasons that were just listed, of course.
Yeah.
But you can go to the dirtiest fucking liquor store on the planet and you can find almonds.
Yes.
So the accessibility is the number one thing.
Yes.
Because you're going to go in there and you're going to find yourself picking out a fucking candy bar. Well, there's the almonds.
Yes. Yeah. It's so true. I'll tell you, it was also true. I'm fascinated by interesting shit. I know you are as well. So I live here in Canada, obviously, and it's flat and it's straight. And this weekend, actually yesterday, I found the world's straightest road. Yeah, and it's not actually here. It's actually quite fascinating. It's actually not here in Canada. Kai, let's run this clip.
Nation, imagine 149 miles with no curve. That's why Highway 10 is dangerous. You don't crash from difficulty, you crash from sleepwalking. That's what monotony does. It makes risk feel invisible. Men, the stable job, the quiet marriage, the same habits. That's the straight road. Don't let comfort turn into complacency.
So there's a road in Saudi Arabia. It's actually completely straight. It's 150 miles, and deaths happen often on the highway, John, because people get bored.
Yeah, there's no stimulation.
That's exactly it. It's just lock it and you go straight. And it's dangerous because of the monotony and attention drifts, drivers misjudge speed and distance. And you think you just want to drive on a straight road, but it's actually more difficult than we think it is because of what you just said. It's quite fascinating to me, actually. Right. And it's just middle of nowhere, Saudi Arabia, and it's generally you get there in 2 hours because people are driving at a high speed, but that's great.
A long fucking time to not adjust anything in your car.
I know. I was thinking about you driving back from Mexico, right? So you drive, what a 6-hour drive, I think you said it was, right? So a couple hours to the border and then home. And you think about this, just driving straight. I know when I go see Carter, speaking of Carter, happy birthday, brother. Big 19 today for the big son.
Oh, right on. Happy birthday, brother.
Yeah. I'm gonna
19 was a good age, man.
Was it a good age for you? Yeah.
I make the joke. That's a male will never be smarter than he is at the age of 19 because it's your teen years. You think you fucking have the world figured out.
Yeah.
And then you get dumber every fucking year.
Yes.
What I mean by that is you realize, fuck, I guess I didn't know shit last year. And if you stop with that, you are not fucking growing anymore.
19 is definitely a fun age for sure.
Young, dumb, and fucking full of cum. The shit is just dripping out your ears.
Well, it's how we started the show here today with drinking semen. So yeah, but because 19 is interesting, because 18, you become the 18-year-old. You're just on the precipice of being 20. So 19's that, okay, I got to get all my last teen shit in, right? Yeah, Dwayne is 19 is ignorance on fire. That's exactly it.
Cart seems to me he's definitely a developed late teen, very developed.
Yeah, and he's very mature. He's an old soul for sure. Yeah, they had a game. He played hockey last year, they won, but he certainly is an old soul. 19.
And I like to use the word developed only because I think to a young person, mature can almost be a little bit of a It's a word that you don't know how to take. Developed is nothing but positive.
Yes. Yeah. Absolutely. Hey, in 1997, it seems like it was yesterday, Sony launched a floppy disk camera. I saw this and I laughed because I'm like, really? We actually fucking took pictures with these things? Hey, Kyle, let's run this vintage clip here. We actually ran pictures with these things. So, and I remember that this big fucking floppy went into the camera and you put it into your computer. And man, I just think about how we progressed as from these big gadgets to the small things we carry now today. And especially on a day like today, we had Crackberry Kevin on there. We got this big fucking camera. We had this I don't think you had one of those. I didn't have one of those. I saw them in the commercials. My parents weren't buying us one of those at the time. 1997.
I didn't start leaning into anything computer until the iPhone came out.
Oh,
because
yeah.
I learned the iPhone because it's in your fucking hand. And I'm like, well, shit. And then Terry tells me, she's like, an Apple computer is the same exact thing you see on your phone. I'm like, it is.
Yeah.
I was like, okay, the door just fucking opened in my mind here.
Oh yeah. Interesting.
Because I can duplicate shit. Very fucking duplication is one of my strengths. Well, fuck. Get me let's get one of those things.
I remember when we talked. Let's bring Whitaker in here, actually. I see Cheryl patiently waiting for us out there. Speaking of opening the door, bringing Cheryl Whitaker. What's going on, Whitaker?
Hey, good morning. Good morning, guys. Hi, Keith. Hi, John.
How are you, Cheryl?
We have our favorite Whitaker on the show this morning. Sorry, Dwayne.
Whatever. I know there's a bromance going on here. I see you guys. That's okay.
I was laughing because Johnny, when you and I first talked after that July experience, when you joined the show for that one time, and you said, I remember the call. I remember so deliberately. You're like, yeah, I operate best when I'm in a rhythm, and I operate best when I repeat myself. I'm like, no shit. And now you're here with me every single day. I love it. Cheryl, how was the show today?
Before we get into show, Keith, you had some shade with me yesterday about whether or not I knew how to check in and would I be checking in today? Let's see, my Gladys or
Did you check in? Yeah.
I'm in. I'm going for a streak.
Yeah, good. That's good. That's awesome.
What are we talking about? What are you checking into?
Well, so I haven't taken the time to teach you yet. I'm getting myself ready to teach the boss, John Anderson himself. But we have mitl.live, our companion application out for the show, and people can check in and build a streak. So you open up the app, you click a button, you check in. So by checking in, you're showing proof, and you can build a streak. So it's cool. It's encouraging.
This is wonderful for the people that need to prove that they can create a streak. I'm fucking nothing but a streak.
On your fucking underwear, Anderson.
I know. We're going back to shower conversations now. Oh my god.
I'm such a fucking streaker. I can't even wear fucking white underpants anymore.
We know.
Oh, that kind of streak. Oh.
It doesn't make it what kind of streak. I'm a streaker.
Oh, so hey, speaking of not streaking. Hey, John, before you go.
Hey, John, before you go, don't blink. It's 13 seconds. It escalates fast.
You think it's bugs making love. Then you realize it's evolution solving a problem. It's a masterclass.
The male's curved structure navigates a spiral system. It's like a biological GPS, no detours.
And yeah, the comments noticed it. It's extremely long for its body. Nature doesn't do subtle.
Wild and uncomfortable, but it's genius design.
You can't unsee it. Beetles don't complain, they adapt. Hey, John, let's give advice to the nation on how to evolve.
Anderson?
I mean, I don't even know what the fuck am I supposed to say to a couple of fucking insects humping? I mean, Jesus Christ. You know? I mean, what the fuck am I supposed to say to that?
Actually, pretty impressive though. I saw that video. I'm like, oh my god! Like, look at these bugs going at it. I've watched tortoises go at it in the Galapagos, Whitaker, but I've never seen bugs. Like, these bugs are going at it. That's pretty good work.
I mean, I gotta tell you. So in New York, there is called the Museum of Sex.
Yes.
Went with my girlfriends a few years ago before COVID, and the display, what they had on was the whole museum was about animals and their sexual behavior. And I gotta tell you, we walked out of there like traumatized, as I am right now by that beetle going at it stuff. Traumatized. Koala bears. No one wants to think about koala bears going at it. You don't want to talk about seals
going at it.
Yeah, it's almost like thinking about your kids having sex for the first time. Like, God damn it. Fuck, man.
It was
especially as a father of girls. Like, God damn
yes.
it, man. I know it's got to happen, but Jesus Christ, you know.
Yeah. Cool museum though. Cool museum.
Yeah.
Yeah. If you ever get to New York.
Where did the beetle humping fit into the level of, on the scale of 1 to 10 for traumatization? Where did the beetle humping fit in?
Is 10 most traumatized? I would say the beetles is probably about a 5.
Oh, no shit, about halfway up the scale.
Yeah, there is more, John. There is more.
No, I was expecting they would be like maybe a 2.
Yeah.
Jesus Murphy. Anderson, what do you we got looks like we got some. Okay, before you go, Anderson, Kai, let's throw some dumb shit on the screen for us. What do you got for dumb shit for us, Kai? What's going on here? I don't even know this was.
Nation, welcome back. Today's nominee is a woman in her 40s attempting a heroic dip with zero structural coverage. Here's a lesson. She ensured the roof, the walls, the plumbing, the hip was on a handshake agreement. National reminder, if your knees pop when you stand up, you are not certified for acrobatics and sandals. And the partner's defense was silence. Nation, if you attempt the dip, you must also attempt the catch. Final ruling, you get the dumb shit award for believing gravity takes holidays. Congratulations, respectfully.
What is happening in that situation? Oh my god!
Oh my god!
Well, she's shaking her head to the point where she loses her fucking balance. You know,
the name for that dance when you do this with your head. I can't remember what it is now. That the name for that, but clearly she had to fail.
Yeah.
What is she holding? What is she holding there? Oh, it's her finger. I thought she was holding a big cigar. I was like, what the fuck is she holding? But and look at the dude grabs her foot. Yeah, a little after. Yeah, I got you.
I can see you two dudes do that with your hair. Just fucking. Oh, wait a minute. Sorry, wrong people. Actually, sorry, it's wrong. Sorry.
Well, hold on. Do you think that you listen? Do you think that you could do it any better than us? Jesus Christ!
John, he could not.
Thank you. He's got to fucking.
No.
Oh Christ.
Oh God.
Yeah.
Anderson, get the hell out of here. What are you doing today, Johnny? What are you doing today, brother?
Well, I got my normal content date.
No, not normal. Hold on, not normal. That's not the word.
No, you're very correct. You're very correct. My everyday date.
Yeah. Yes, thank you,
Ben.
Thank you.
And then I'm actually gonna after that I'm gonna go for a nap early today.
Oh, good.
And yeah. Terry unfortunately has come down with some. I don't. It's not like it's some sort of sickness, not too bad.
Okay.
But I figure I'm going to try to get ahead of it by making sure that I don't chintz my naps, because obviously the best way to keep my immune system is keep my rest and my recovery high. So She spent all day freaking coughing and sneezing yesterday. So
Uh-oh.
I don't want to go into that whole deal.
Hope it feels better, John.
Well, I mean, I feel fine now, but the problem is that even though I knew what I was getting myself into, I did it anyway. We got ourselves into some life expectancy work, which means there's a very good chance it was a direct pass to me. So it's time for me to start backing up the immune system ASAP. So.
Yeah, I'm going to predict that Johnny's going to get sick from that life expectancy work. So
you know, there's a partial test in this because
of course
most sicknesses are viral, right?
Yes.
If you look at the versus bacterial and nicotine, which I've been doing a lot of experimenting with, and I've been on a very high dose lately, is supposed to keep viruses away. So we're going to see how true this is.
Interesting.
That is interesting.
So I figured, I have some fun and push one of my experiments. Why would I say no to that?
Well, 100%, especially with the person you love the most. I'm with you, man.
But at the same time, I'm also going to give my body, like the reason I'm taking my nap ASAP is because I know I'll have the time I want. If it's later, sometimes it gets chinched. So I'm prioritizing my experiment.
All right. Well, go have your nap. Go enjoy your nap. And go enjoy your experiment.
Good to see you, Cheryl.
Thank
Yeah.
you.
22 hours.
I think we got to have the duo on. We got to have both Smilers on at the same time.
I think you're onto something there, Anderson. Yeah, I think we're going to make that happen. No? Yeah, actually, yes.
Yes.
Actually, yes.
Look at this guy. He thinks that he can just fucking tell everybody the way it is. You say no, he says yes.
I think though, John, I think that Keith's gonna have to shave his head if he's gonna be on with Dwayne's gonna come in.
Oh yeah, because you're bald. Yes. Yeah. This is true. Yes. Yeah.
That'd be interesting.
Dude, I would be the extreme handsome chief bald.
Ooh.
Oh yeah, like I could just imagine Johnny. You know what, Johnny?
You know what, brother? I gotta interrupt you. I think you would be better off with no hair. I agree.
Yeah, you might not even have a spot on the show, Anderson, if I showed up bald. Because the handsome meter might just go off the fucking shelf. I just might just be so handsome that the light would be emanating so much, Anderson, that my big head just might take it over.
Well, brother, I would say this: if people are showing up because you're handsome, if I thought that was the motor behind this, I wouldn't have joined you.
Oh. Keith is handsome. You both are.
So was Raymond Harris was handsome too. Yes. Yeah. It was. We had a fun coffee yesterday after the show. He was like, "What the hell was that?" I'm like, it was crazy.
I love it. He said, I'm dressed like Run DMC. I love it. That was great, dude. Awesome. That was great. I love that.
So he called you Run DMC and threw shade at me. It was brilliant. It was like, okay, this is great. Good guess.
Yeah, he gave love and wisdom.
That's it. All right, Anderson, let's get you out of here and get your nap. Kyle, walk Anderson out of the show. I'll catch up with Cheryl for a few minutes here. So how did your show go there, kid?
It was good. It was great. I enjoyed it. I think the audience enjoyed it. And the human design, my guest, Kristen Crockett, she killed it. So
yeah,
it was a great show. Mm-hmm.
What was what did you get? What came out of it? And how did the performative, how did your hot take go?
Hot take was awesome because we actually both agreed the title itself for the book, Don't Be Yourself.
Yeah.
Authenticity is overrated.
Yeah.
The title itself is provocative.
Misleading? Yes.
Yeah. Yes. But we had a great conversation about that. So it's like I feel like every week we're just kind of like iterating and it's just getting it's just gonna get better.
And the consensus around not being your authentic self was there the consensus on that, or was there?
Yes, there is a consensus on that because if you especially as a leader, if you are by nature, if your authentic self is an asshole, right? So if you're grumpy me, I don't give a crap or shit about anybody else me. If that is who you are, then you're gonna struggle.
Yes.
And it flies right in the face of everything that I believe in, that you need to come from a place of joy when you lead. Right. And so
I've been thinking about this conversation. I'm sorry, my brother Johnny's not here, but I think about John. John is fully authentic. He'll burp on the show. He'll fart on the show. And some would not like that.
Mm-hmm.
However, that's what you get with John. And there's also something to be said for that in an extremely positive way. So as a leader, you know what you're always getting with him. Right. So, okay. So he might in the meeting, he might just drop a belch, you might not like that, but you're probably not going to be, I'm just
not be surprised.
Yes.
Not going to be surprised. And so what we're really saying is that so I wrote this article once about people who don't like people, like those people who hate people.
Yes.
If you truly hate people, all I'm saying is,
well, you shouldn't be a leader or work in the people business.
Boom. There you go. That's what I'm saying. Be your authentic self, but find your lane. Find where you can be your authentic self. It may not be in leadership.
Right.
And if your authentic self is an asshole, sorry, but
yeah.
Right. If you can't show up for other people and that's who you are as a person.
Well,
okay.
It still fascinates me to this day when I talk with people that have bad managers. I'm like, or bad leaders. I'm like, holy, it's 2026 and that person's doing what? Like why are they a leader? Like, is their leader that bad of a leader that they've had that leader being there? Like, it still amazes me how some people still survive as leaders.
Yeah, well, one of the things we talked about on the show, Kristen brought this up, is that, some people like, hey, you know what? You are great at those fries. You're great at frying those fries. You know what? You should be a leader. And then tap on the shoulder. And now you're a manager and you're a leader, but no one ever taught you, okay, now you're not on fries anymore. Now you've got to deal with the people who are making the fries.
Yeah.
And so you don't learn. But then the money comes and then the prestige comes and you don't want to let that go. And it's the Peter principle, Keith. People get moved on and into higher levels of responsibility because nobody wants to deal with the problem. You just get promoted and moved on up. The next thing you know, you've got a senior vice president who is a tyrant. And,
that's
and
exactly
bodies wherever they go.
And then where did you guys line up on performative leadership or performative humans that show up to perform?
Yeah. I mean, nobody likes that word, performative, but it goes back to what we were just saying. If you are in that role, if you are a senior leader and you just don't give a shit about people today, you don't get to come into the office and not give a shit about people today.
Yeah.
So if that's what's called performative leadership in that moment, then, you get up and go. Does that make sense?
100%. Absolutely. Yeah.
There are times when you're just not in the mood, right? So let's take you, for example. You're amazing at what you do. But if you're not really feeling it, you're still going to come in here because I know that it's not about you. It's about everybody who's watching the show. You're doing
but that's what you do. That's what we do.
That's what you do. That's pro.
That's pro. Yeah, 100%. Yes. Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Yes. Well, it's interesting because I know I've talked to Peloton before, and I know Robin Arzon a few times has said that, when I get out here behind the camera and on the bike, you don't want to hear about the fucking difficult time I had last night at the home with my kid. You're here for me to motivate you to get your ass going, get your job done in the studio and get out again. So now, is she performing in that aspect or is she doing her job? I think she's doing her job.
Doing her job. And sometimes your job is to perform, right?
Oh, speaking of performing, hold on. Holy fuck, the State of the Union's still going on right now. It's still going on. It's been on for 12 hours. He's still talking. The guy is still talking, Whitaker. He's still talking.
I wouldn't know. I didn't watch.
I went to bed. It was still on. I got up this morning. He was still talking. And he's still talking right now. Performative leadership. Keith and Cheryl this morning on Mornings in the Lab with Keith and Sean. Hanging out with my good friend Cheryl Whitaker from It Starts With Joy every Wednesday, 8:30 on the Mornings in the Lab Live Network and It Starts With Joy channel. So it was a fun show, was it? All together?
Yeah, it was good. It was good. And Beatrice and Atlas, they're just absolutely, they're amazing.
Fun.
They're absolutely amazing. So much fun. It's so different. And we're learning and growing every week. So we're doing high fives behind the scenes afterwards. It was a good show.
Good. And I got
feedback. I'm looking forward to it.
I got a comment from Jimmy here. The comment says, "Hey Keith Billis, Cheryl's show goes 100% smooth today," which is awesome. That's I'm pleased to hear that. So that's fantastic.
Thank you. Thanks, Jimmy and team.
Okay, well, I'm going to get you out of here. I got a little bit of a monologue. I got a monologue that talks about leadership and performance leadership and so forth. I'm kind of actually taking a page from what you threw in what you guys talked about this morning. So and showing up. So I'm going to get into that one before we wrap up here today, and I'll come check up with you later today as well.
All right, talk to you later, my friend. Thank you.
All right,
Bye,
Cheryl's out of here. Boom, boom. Cheryl Whitaker from It Starts With Joy live every Wednesday right here on Mornings in the Lab Live Network and Cheryl Whitaker's own channel, It Starts With Joy. So I invite you guys to check that out Wednesday. She hung out with us here this morning to catch up and get connected. Okay, team. It's time to get to the monologue. Guys, I don't know if we're going to get to that. Well, maybe we will not get to Community Corner today, Jimmy. Maybe we will. Maybe we won't. I'm not too sure. Oh, I got 40 seconds. All right, the Blotter. Hey, Blotter, you got 40 seconds today. So you got a little bit longer than our typical 34, 35, 39. So that's what we're going to do here. We got a little bit of a monologue coming up today, and it is about something I caught myself doing yesterday. And it was I was in my meetings yesterday. I had that big meeting with fundraisers, and I found myself doing something that I caught myself. And I'm going to talk about it in 41 seconds, and that countdown starts right now.
We love live for one reason. Live doesn't let us negotiate with ourselves.
It exposes the edit.
We can't sanitize in real time. We can't workshop our backbone. Live is the lie detector.
Being liked feels like safety. It also has a rule. Don't surprise anyone.
And that rule kills builders. We stop challenging rooms. We start protecting comfort over truth.
So we're choosing something else. We're not trying to be liked at scale. We're trying to be true in public.
In a world where AI makes perfect, real is the advantage. Ask it now. Are we strategic or scared?
So yesterday I caught myself as I was going into the meeting. I was like, I'm doing it again. But Jimmy, I found myself in the moment. I did. I was like, oh shit. I'm finding this happening to me right now. And what was it? It wasn't lying. I'm not a liar. And it was just this idea of Whitaker. It was like idea of adjusting. I was adjusting. What was I adjusting? I found myself softening some sentences as I was pitching our investors. I found myself using words that I normally don't use. I found myself changing a word. And not because it was wrong, because I found myself considering that it might be an uncomfortable word for the person across the screen. And then I had this weird moment that I caught myself in that moment where I actually found myself with the trade happening in real time. It was literally, it's like time stopped, Jimmy. It's like it stopped for me at the moment, and it just stopped in real time. I'm going, holy shit. I am actually changing words, maybe we'll call it truth, in exchange for the approval of the person over there. I was like, holy shit, I'm speaking to appease them. And here's the thing, I've learned over time, I'm good at gaining approval. So I was like, okay, maybe I just kind of keep doing that path. But I found myself, I don't know. Do I pause? Do I keep going with what I was going to say? Because I'm going, shit, I've built companies, I've learned rooms, I understand tone with people. And I've learned how to win without making people feel challenged. And I got to tell you, that skill has made me money along the way, and it also can make you foggy. But as I was in that situation, finding myself looking to appease the person over there, I'm like, wait a minute. That's not correct. Because once you find yourself being rewarded for being, here's the word, palatable. Yeah, palatable, making them happy, just making everybody just feel good. Well, then what you start perhaps doing is you start treating your own opinion like it's a liability. Like, oh, I can't say that. And you might find yourself saying, like I did yesterday, well, maybe, even though I meant no. And I think Petro knows about this, because people who tend to get off the rails, they may start bullshitting. And you start saying interesting about something when you actually might be thinking it's bullshit because you don't want to cause conflict in the situation. And you start saying to the person, but then you know what, I'll think about it. When actually you know for a fact that you're not going to. Because you don't want to offend the person across the screen or across the table. And then you call it being a professional. But here's the thing. Here is the thing. You're actually not being professional. No, you're self-editing yourself. And the moment you start self-editing yourself and you do it often enough, think about that. That self-editing becomes self-erasing. So you go from that one self-edit, that one meeting you were at today, then you self-edit yourself tomorrow. You self-edit yourself at that next meeting. Next thing you know, you're erasing everything about yourself that you look in the mirror and you're trying to be. Because you're trying to be palatable for the person across the screen or across the table or across the room. So no, today, boom, in that moment, let's draw a line. Let's draw it together. And not a loud line. No, I'll just be loud right here on the show with you guys. And not even a dramatic line. No, let's just slow it down. Maybe it's that private line we got to be creating. You know, that private line around ourselves. Maybe it's that line that says, I want to build a life continuously, nonstop, that requires me not to be liked. No, I don't want to build a life that makes me happy because everybody likes me. No, I want to build a life that requires me to be true to my own mirror. True even when it costs me a relationship. It has. True when it costs me a client. And it has. I have fired clients. And true when it costs me a room. I have. I've been in a room and called out because of my truth. Because one thing I've learned in life, the only thing worse than being disliked is being applauded for a version of you that isn't real. Think about that for a second. Do you want to be celebrated for a version of you that isn't real? Or would you rather be celebrated for a version of you that shows up every single day as yourself? So, as you go through your day today, Jimmy, Kai, Nation, Dwayne, you go through your day today, and you feel that little itch that says, I should say the safe thing because I don't want to offend the person over there. Well, no, it's not about offending somebody. That's not what I'm suggesting you want to do is offend somebody. But you might want to ask yourself one question. Are you being strategic in that moment with your choice of words, or are you being scared? Because we know this. We know the expense of fear. Fear is extremely expensive. Fuck, think about it. That fear charges you interest every single day. Non-stop. You're scared, interest. You're scared, interest. You think about it. Version B, I'm just going to throw some more humor on the table. And then create that self-awareness. Oh. Next thing you know, you're sermoning everybody. You're being like the priest in the church. And I used to think, I got to be honest, there's a point in my life where I used to think that being liked was the goal. But being liked genuinely. Yeah. Maybe that was through the charisma phase in life. And I thought if people liked me, everything would work. So what did I do? I got really good at that. I became the guy that could walk into a room and just make it smooth. Just walk in, make it easy, make it nice. Reading the temperature of everybody. 8 seconds, 10 seconds, just knowing how the room was going to roll. And then become whatever keeps the peace for everybody in the room. And that was cool for a point in my life until I realized what I was confessing to myself in my own mirror, that I was keeping the peace for everybody else. It's also actually another way of saying to everybody in that room, and what you're saying to everybody in that room is something that I know you're not even thinking about. Is that you're telling everybody, oh yeah, I can disappear on demand. Like, what? True story. Think about that for a second. Are you really yourself in that meeting today, or are you disappearing? And disappearing is a weird addiction once you do it once. Because once you do it once and nobody notices it, you don't even notice you're doing it. Because of what happens is you find yourself laughing at jokes that you don't even find funny, agreeing with opinions that you don't respect from the guy or the girl across the room, but because you don't want to ruffle the room, you do it. And then you start walking back through your own story. Edit, 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 edit. Because you don't want to look like, wow, he's just too much. The guy's just too much. And then there's that day you wake up and you're like, wait a minute. What the hell is going on? When did I, Dwayne Whitaker, when did I become the public relations team for everyone else's comfort? And that happens to most of us. I don't want to cause any kerfuffle. So I got to make sure that Whitaker's happy. I got to make sure that Petro's doing good. But guys, really? So here's where I'm at. You, all of us, we're not here to be liked. I don't think that's why we want to go about it. And I'm not here to be controversial either. Well, there's fun in it. And the attention's fun with controversy. But here's the truth. I am here to be true. Every single day. Live. True. And truth isn't mean. It's mean to some people. Some people who can't understand what truth is. But really, when you think about it, truth is actually very clean. Because truth is saying to yourself, saying to your own mirror, and saying to everybody else, that doesn't work for me. Truth is also saying to your own mirror and to everybody else, I don't believe that. And then having the courage to stand behind that instead of bending over and appeasing the person across from you. And truth is also saying to yourself, I'm building something you, just like Crackberry Kevin. I'm building something that you don't understand yet. It's my truth. And that's okay. And I know that is going to make people uncomfortable. And it's also going to make people less likable from time to time. And that's okay. Because the people who require you to be smaller were never your people. Guys, I love live. I love getting up doing the show every single day. Because live does not let me, it doesn't let Johnny, it doesn't let our guests negotiate with themselves. Because when you're live and when I'm live, I do not worship what my personality is. You guys get me what I am. There's no sanitization of the truth here. I don't get the chance to run it through everybody before the show and say, hey, is it okay to say this? No. Live is the lie detector in front of all of you. And that's why so many people avoid it. Not because they're busy, because it's exposure. And listen, being liked, we all want to be liked. It's tempting. But guys, being liked is also safe. It feels like momentum. It feels like I'm doing it right. But being liked also has that hidden rule that it surprises anyone. Because when you don't surprise anyone and you don't challenge the room and you don't say the thing you actually mean, you're lying to yourself and you're lying to everybody else around you. So as we move forward, let's make a choice. Maybe it's not being liked at scale, it's being true in public, because in a world where everything can be generated as perfect, the only advantage for you and for me and for you is being real. That's it. That is unequivocally it. Not polished, put the polish away. Not safe, forget about safety, and not even optimized. No. The choice that you might want to make today is to be unequivocally real. So I said this before and I'll say it again and I'll wrap it up with this. If you're watching me, watching Johnny, watching us on the show daily, and you don't agree with me sometimes, often, ever, well then good. 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 Because that means, guys, that means there's no performance going on here. That means that this isn't even content. No, that means that what we're having is a conversation. And a conversation like we do here daily, it's the future.
We're not drawing a loud line. We're drawing a private one, and we're holding it. If you don't agree with us sometimes, good. That means we're not performing. That means this isn't content. It's conversation.
All right, guys. Boom, boom. Yes. Daily poll, daily question. Thank you, Kai. Producer Kai is on it today. Guys, don't go through your... Listen, I know our audience is not a bunch of young chumps. I know our audience is a bunch of dudes that have been getting after it, but here's why maybe this is important for all of us. Maybe today's the day you can get about things not needing to worry about everybody else. Maybe today's the day you look for permission to say, no, I'm going to fucking be myself 100%. Hey, where do your good habits usually fall apart? Where do they fall apart? Come give us your answer. Come check it out on the Mornings in the Lab live app. Mornings.live, MITL.live. We got a lot of domains that get you there. MITL.live, morningsinthelab.live, mornings.live. Kai, we even have mornings.live too. Yeah, mornings.live, MITL.live, MITL.show. Come check into the poll. Come check into the show. Come answer our question of the day. We're looking really hard to build some community there on the site. And our goal is to continue the conversation when the show is over. We do the show live for 2 hours. The conversation continues for 22 more hours, right? Live for 2, continue for 22. So come check us out. Mornings, not live. Question of the day. When you mess up your eating, what are you doing? And guys, you might mess up your eating today. So what are you going to do? Are you going to go and eat some more? Or are you going to say, fuck it? I heard what Bill said today, and I am not going to eat anymore. Guys, fun show here today. Whether you're listening in your car, crushing at the gym, or hiding in the bathroom from your kids, we appreciate you choosing to start your day in the lab. We covered today how to forgive yourself for the last 5 years. Crackberry Kevin joined us to talk about his near-death experience and building a media empire that goes against everything that the world is going with right now. Bringing tactile buttons back to smartphones with clicks. And man, morning focus. I just dropped the monologue on being yourself, guys. And Ty Zachary Bryan from Home Improvement's in jail. We talked about why men spiral, why that guy just goes spiraling out of control. Had that conversation, and then we had the most important conversation of the day. Yeah, we got a video on TikTok explaining what happens when semen is swallowed. And it's conversations like that we get after it every single day. Live, 8 o'clock Eastern time. Mornings.live every single Monday to Friday. Tomorrow, we got on the show, tomorrow, coming up on the show, we're going to have a fun one. You know where to find us. We got who do we got? We got Sarah Humphrey, Sarah Barnes Humphrey. Thanks, Jimmy. There you go. So you know what's great, guys? You want to know who's coming up on the show? Just go to the website, mornings.live. You can see who's coming up on the show. Tomorrow, we got Sarah Humphreys. And we're going to be back in less than 22 hours. I got to get out of here. We'll see you guys 22 hours, 8 o'clock live. Mornings.live. My words aren't coming out. We'll see you guys tomorrow. Ciao.